Good evening and welcome along to your Friday night feast here in Portsmouth. The Modus Super Series, very much the hottest ticket in town, and it's a night full of legends here on the south coast this evening. Robert Thornton and Martin Adams, the two big names that are in action, but it's the bearded dragon that leads the way at the halfway mark.
Is what he won the UK Open with when he beat Phil Taylor in the final. It includes the double two in the finish this time. Far from Warburton, looking to make sure he makes this leg count. He does, by taking out 113 for a very good combination. Check out 127 and game. That's class. That is top class. There, Justin Smith have to be right across to the left-hand side, but finds a way round. Warton feel like he can't catch a break tonight.
Justin Smith's renaissance in 2024 continues, whilst for Robert Thornton and Martin Adams, two legends of the game. One has got a harder task than the other in terms of qualifying through to tomorrow night's final. Guaranteed to be into tomorrow night's final. That's because he's in the commentary box. It's Matthew Edgar, and another person guaranteed to be in tomorrow night's final is the 16-year-old sensation, Ryan Branley from the Northeast, who has taken this competition by storm.
How good was he earlier on? I could sit here and reel off stats and data and numbers, and I could spend most of the night doing so. Every single metric that we look at, he was head and shoulders above that group. So mature in his approach. I'm really excited by him, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he gets on tomorrow night.
If you're going to qualify, do it with a ton plus finish. Do it with a champagne shot. Ironically, he's not old enough to drink champagne.
Style, isn't it? And look at the score at the time as well. 3 all-in legs. Darren Barton on 59. Yes, he ended up doing it quite comfortable in the end. He would have had more opportunities after that, but you want to get it done at the earliest point because drama causes nerves and anxiety, and it all just starts to build. Didn't get drawn into that, didn't get embroiled, just was the class act of the group.
So Ryan Branley is through. He's joined by Ross Montgomery through Group C. This is how the tournament bracket breaks down as we go into the final night's worth of qualification. Branley and Montgomery joining the former champion Andreas Harrison into the showpiece tomorrow evening, and 3 from the 5 in the middle of your pitch there in Group B will join that trio in the finale. And at the halfway point of Group B, it is the bearded dragon, Justin Smith, that leads the way. He won every single one of his 4 matches on Thursday evening. I remember we were sat here around about March time talking about Justin Smith and saying, whereabouts in his career is he at? And it's felt like the last couple of appearances here, he really has turned the corner.
Yeah and no, because I don't think he's any further along than where he was a year ago. You know, I think a year ago, this time of year, he was picking up a Challenge Tour title. And when you pick up one of those Challenge Tour titles, you're meant to be getting close to the Pro Tour call-ups. You're meant to be moving towards getting that tour card, which I know something Justin Smith wants, and the darts he has played this week suggest he is going to get there. The problem for Justin Smith is keeping that level of consistency and focus. I tend to find nights like tonight is where he struggles a little bit more, where he probably thinks he's already through, maybe needs one result and sort of takes the foot off the gas a little bit. I'd like to see him come out tonight and do what he did yesterday.
Robert Thornton, 3 wins from his 4 matches yesterday. He won the double start tournament a couple of weeks back. Has he taken that momentum into this week, in your opinion?
Yeah, he looks good, doesn't he? I mean, we spoke last night quite a lot, me and Chris Murphy, on commentary about how Robert Thornton can implode. When things start going wrong for Robert Thornton, they unravel very, very quickly. Not last night. Last night was good. When things went wrong, he dug deep. When things needed to go even deeper rather than rolling over, he found something. He found some rhythm and he really got going in the back end of the night. I was mightily impressed. Robert Thornton looked like the Robert Thornton that was dominating the Seniors Tour.
So, Robert Thornton in second place on 6 points. This is how the table looks going into tonight's action. Tommy Morris on 4. 2 wins, 2 defeats for his evening last night. How would you have assessed it overall?
I think how the league table went in overnight was absolutely spot on. Sometimes you look at it and say, well, the league table, someone was unlucky in certain games, or results didn't go the way, or a one missed shot here or there, and you can sometimes think on reflection that table doesn't rectify what we saw. Last night, it absolutely did. Everything that happened last night, clear representation in the table.
Well, let's see how that's represented in terms of the odds. This is what the bookies think about tonight's action. Everybody, of course, can still mathematically win the group, including Mike Warburton, who's a 750-1 outsider. They have Justin Smith as the favourite at 1-2. Perhaps no surprises there. If Justin Smith, in your opinion, looks as good as Frew, who do you think the other two are going to be?
I don't think it changes tonight. I think the table's the table. Maybe Warburton and Adams might flip-flop places at some point in the evening, but I think the table's the table. The three that's going through, I think, are already in those positions, but 1-2, that's a little stingy.
Well, it is 18+, and it is begambleaware.org if you're going to have a flutter on the Super Series scene. Right into our first game of the evening session, and it sees Tommy Morris in action. Well, he picked up 4 points from his opening night's worth of display. Still very much in the mix and in a qualifying position in third, but he's looking to get a bit of a kick and a bit of a move on this Friday evening. And his first job of the evening was to have a chat with me earlier. Tommy, night 2 here at the Super Series. How did you assess upon night 1?
I was very tired yesterday. I mean, it's like every time I play, it's a good bunch of guys again. It's just so hard in Group B where it's so late. Not everyone understands how hard it is here.
I know it's easy to say when you picked up 4 points, is it a mixed bag of a session, but did it feel that way to you?
I believe I didn't play to my best ability because I was tired. And if I'm honest, I got lucky. I really did pick up my chances when I needed to. And I've sort of put myself in the mix, so it's all to play for today, really.
So how do you readdress that tiredness balance?
Well, I've recharged today. I've had a good sort of day today, recharging myself, so I'm feeling in good spirits tonight. So hopefully it goes well.
In terms of the team, do you feel that even though you didn't play at your best, if you pick up a similar points tally, you'll be in and around it come the end of the
Yeah, I mean, I've been here quite a few times now, and I've got to Saturday quite a few times as well, so I know what needs to be done. So, yeah, hopefully it goes my way again.
How nice is it to be in a group full of legends? Because I remember you as somebody that was just burning at an opportunity to play here initially. Came in as a last-minute qualifier, but share practice rooms with the likes of Martin and Robert on merit. That must be
yeah, it's one of those things I've always wanted to do. I mean, I used to watch Martin and Rob growing up on the TV, and having playing now and competing with them, it's amazing. You know, I played Martin years ago at County, and he absolutely blew me away. So I got a sort of little bit of a payback yesterday, but it wasn't my best. But we're equal now, so today we're settle it.
Gun celebration up the sleeve if successful?
Possibly, yeah.
Well,
always.
Well, Tommy, we wish you all the very best. Good luck.
Thanks, Henry.
And Tommy Morris's first assignment of the night is Mike Warburton, who is having a little bit of a survey of the surroundings in terms of the dartboards, and referee Owen Binks is just having a little bit of a move of that. Well, we'll be just checking out Binks in terms of line and length okay. Both players and the referee are happy, and hopefully we should be good to go on this Friday night here at the Live Lounge. The final night in terms of qualification through to the finals tomorrow evening, where we already know that the former champion, Andreas Harrison, Ryan Branley and Ross Montgomery all through. We've got 2 players who are in the twilight of their career and somebody whose career is just beginning. As for Mike Warburton, well, he didn't pick up a point on night 1. The 39-year-old from Wrexham, former World Masters semi-finalist. That was back at the Circus Tavern in 2019, up against Tommy Morris, who is incredible to think that it's now 18 months that we've seen him here. The 32-year-old from Poole, who's made 5 weekly finals in his Super Series career, but has yet to cross that finishing line as of yet. And that will be something that will very much be a chip on his shoulder. And if he does do so, he can have a chat with his old pal Scott Mitchell. That's our old pal Owen Binks. He's our referee this evening. Warburton will get us underway. He'll throw the first dart in anger. He could well throw the last dart later on this evening when he takes on Martin Adams in game 10. And Matthew Edgar is alongside me here in the commentary box for what could be an intriguing night's worth of action.
60.
Yeah, and we start it very strong, don't we? Mike Warburton in an all-or-nothing situation here. needs to pretty much win every single game this evening to have a realistic chance of qualification.
100.
And we tend to find with Mike Warburton, when he finds that real focus, is when we see the very best darts of Mike Warburton, and he's going to have to be literally on it from the first darts, as we're finding out in this opening visits.
Is he one of those players, and we speak about it all the time, particularly in recent times here, that almost has to play with that air of edge, that air of something in terms of jeopardy, having to ride on a match for him to play his best?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of players like that. And that's the situation he finds himself in tonight, on the basis of not winning a single game last night. He's set there to go for the bullseye, and then thought about the situation he's in, which is time on his side. Lays it up.
125.
And that wayward dart there for Tommy Morris
32.
gives Mike Warburton a couple of handfuls if he needs them.
Game shot on the first leg.
And I said if he needs them, because you kind of get the feeling he wasn't going to miss there. Very steely focused customer
Second
tonight.
leg, it's Tommy to throw first.
Now it's about sustainability.
Well, Warby lost this game 4-3 yesterday. Morris
60.
winning with a 88 average, all of the 8s in there. 4 from 11 on the doubles as well. Warby will feel like recent times here at the Super Series has been a case of near misses. He played superb the last time he was here. He actually got through to the final. He beat Wesley Plaisir in the semis before then being beaten by Adam Patson in the final. We're actually going to see here next week at the Live Lounge. And since that weekly win, which came in Series 3, that's now 6 series ago.
100.
He's had a couple of close shaves, but he's been unable to cross the whitewash.
100.
Bright start to the evening. Starters were mean to go on.
83.
In fact, he's lost in his weekly final in the last 2 series that he played in. He lost to Paxton in Series 8,
90.
but he also lost out to Andreas Harrison in Series 7. And we know exactly what Andreas did that week and in that series. He'd pick up the jackpot, beating Count Crabtree in the final, 4-3.
100. Tommy, you require 151.
We'll be off to a fast start here, looking for the break of throne. He's going to get an opportunity to attain
89.
it. Morris able to take out the 151. And so what can Warby make of this 78?
He's going to get a dart.
Game
That's all he
shot the
needs.
second leg.
Completely
Mike
different
Warburton.
demeanour and everything about the game of Mike Warburton tonight.
Third leg, it's Mike to throw first.
There's aggression in there.
Game on.
And his quality darts, back-to-back 15s. That first dart just sitting beautifully in the board every single time. And
100.
just settles you into the shot. You're not chasing the scores.
Everybody I sit with in this commentary box
22.
speaks about how good the throw of Mike Warburton is. What in particular stands out about it?
There's nothing in particular about it as an individual fact. To have a good throw or to have
100.
something solid, there are a lot of fundamentals. There are a lot of advanced techniques. There's all sorts of different parts that
100.
all have to work together. It's like trying to decide which cog's the most important on the machine. They all play their part. There are some things that are unique to an individual
60.
and unique to a player. No 2 players throw the same. However, there are some things that are the same in every
140.
single person's throw. And they're the things you've got to make sure are in there. Those fundamentals. Warburton's got all of those and a few extras.
60.
One of the first videos or DVDs or VHSs of dart players talking about the mechanics of a throw was
85.
John Lowe back in the late 1970s. And he said the key component towards a good throw is aiming, pulling back and firing. And that is exactly what Mike Warburton does. And firing on all cylinders here. He's left himself on a 2-darter. And Tommy Morris has been restricted to opportunities like this. 1-5-4s, 1-5-1s.
98.
And now he has to hope there's a Warburton miss. But if there's
81.
been one thing that he's been good at in this group, it has been his finishing. 45% on night 1 and 2 from 5 in this match.
41.
Well, Tommy Morris, we don't know what his
56.
finishing's like. He's not had a dart at the double yet, but that's about to change.
Game shot.
And that errant dart
Tommy Morris.
of Mike Warburton has been severely punished. Tommy Morris with the break, returning the game to throw. Back to
Full flag, it's
2-1.
Tommy to throw first. Game on. $140.
Fair to say, in terms of the throwing actions and throwing speed, it's
41.
a contrast of styles. The way they throw the dart isn't too
45.
dissimilar. It's just the speed that's the big difference.
Yeah, and that speed sometimes gives Tommy Morris a little bit of a hook in the throw rather than that extension. See how measured
60.
and controlled it is as well, not dropping onto joints. You see with Tommy Morris there, just drops onto the elbow
95.
joint, and you won't be surprised if at some point he has a little bit of soreness in the elbow. With that, controlled with muscle.
60.
Very rare that we get that. Most people do just drop onto the joints. That's why we're seeing a lot of wrist and
95.
elbow issues now within the sport, when the amount of time that people now have to play in regards to tournament play and practice.
Feels like a sport-wide issue. And when I say sport-wide, I mean across all sports. Is
100. Tommy Rock 126.
the amount of games, the amount of competition, how that can lead to an increase of injuries.
86.
Morris here from 2-0 down has put himself in a really good position here. Has left himself on top to level this match up. And the only moment you can really pinpoint that's transpired against Mike Warburton was when he's left on 81. He hit that single
100.
free,
Tommy require
which
40.
meant he couldn't finish at that turn because he couldn't find the trouble with dart 2.
Game shot on the
And ever
full
since
flag.
that point, it's
Tommy
all been about
Morris.
Tommy Morris, who has levelled this contest up at 2 apiece.
Fifth leg, it's Mike to throw
So
first.
often when games turn
Game.
around, it's turned around because of two things. The player who is in front coming off the pace, and the player who's behind getting better.
140.
That's exactly what happened here to get this game back to level, but Warburton appears to be getting back on the horse.
100.
He'll probably feel he has to go through the card this evening to stand a realistic chance of going through. And in particular, this first game would have been one that
100.
he would have pinpointed because he's playing the player that is in that third position in the group, and he can cut that gap down to
57.
just a couple of points for winning this one. And Tommy will then face Robert Thornton in game 3 of the session. And in the middle of that, he'll be hoping that Justin Smith does him a favour against Martin Adams. And if that's the case, Justin Smith would pretty much be through
140.
without having the gold tick next to his name.
43. Mike, you require 121.
Well, this to stave off the Morris counter-attack. 6 or 1-2-1 to open up a 3-2 lead. And for 25 to leave double 18.
81.
That's because Tommy Morris, quite a long way back, doesn't need to be entertained in the 11 and the bullseye. You also may see players use the treble 15 in that situation, but this,
125.
the same mistake as
Mike, you
earlier for Tommy
require
Morris. He got the
40.
first 2 darts in the treble, wayward with the last, and guarantees Mike Warburton 6 darts at the
Game
double,
fifth flag.
and
Mike
he only
Warburton.
needs 1.
Sixth flag, it's Tommy to throw first.
13
Game
dart on the back of a couple of 15s in terms of winning legs for Warby in this contest, and he's now a leg away from claiming the opening win of the night.
42.
As I mentioned, Adams and Smith next. Tommy Morris will then return to take on Robert Thornton. And there is a possibility that by the end of game 3, Tommy Morris will be lurking over his shoulder
100.
quite precariously.
$83.
You know, it's interesting he was saying in his interview that he was struggling a little bit with tiredness. He played 2 of the last 3 matches last night, and because the fixtures flip and reverse, he's playing 2 of the opening 3.
60. $135.
Warburton just trying to control the pace of this game. We know he's a little bit deliberate in his action, but now getting a little bit deliberate in the
140.
approach.
$140.
Tom 40 leads Morris on 101 after 12. Pretty much the textbook leg. Should head down for the 25,
81.
but decided to persevere with the treble.
Tommy
And
require 101.
that is a look of a very forlorn man. Double 18. That would have been to have taken us all the way. This to win it.
Mike, you require
For
120.
his first victory in his Group B campaign at the 5th time of asking. If it's going to be, he's
60.
going to have to wait.
Tommy, you
Does he have to wait 3 darts?
18.
Or is he going back to 501?
Huge dart. Double 4.
14.
And Morris cannot deliver.
Mike, you require
And
60.
he knows the significance of this defeat because it puts both Warburton and Adams very much in play in the race for 3rd place. Tots of Warburton to cut that gap in half. And it means only a couple of points separate Tommy Morris and those in behind him. Mike Warburton gets his first win of Group B at the 5th time of asking. A turnaround of his fortunes on Thursday night to average in excess of 90, 50% on his doubles. He's beaten Tommy Morris by 4 legs to 2. Coming up after the break, Martin Adams up against Justin Smith. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where before the break, Mike Warburton got the better of Tommy Morris by 4 legs to 2, averaging in excess of 90 and 50% when it came to his doubling. And because of that win for Mike Warburton, it means that Justin Smith is any win away tonight from qualifying through to the finals. His first assignment, Martin Adams, the 68-year-old from deep in St James, the 3-time Lakeside champion. Wolfie looking to roll back the years. But he's got an important message for us all, that somewhere it is 5 o'clock. Up against Justin Smith, the 27-year-old now from Cardigan in Wales, a former Super Series weekly winner. And he beat Martin Adams in that final to win his week. That was in Series 2, Week 3. That was back in November of 2022. How a lot of things can change here at the Super Series in the space of a couple of years.
First leg,
But some things don't
Martin
change.
to throw first.
And that's
Game
the
on.
infectious energy and the burning desire to win of Martin Adams. Even now, what is the twilight of his career? He still believes there's one more big day in there. And every dog does have his day.
100.
But if it's going to be Wolfie's night, he is going to need to do something quite special. He begins the evening on 2 points,
100.
and because of that win for Mike Warburton, he now finds himself at the bottom of the table. However, if he can win this game, he'll put himself on to 4 points and put himself hot on the tail of Tommy Morris.
I think there's a lot to review, really, with
40.
Martin Adams, and we take a look at his performance last night. Started well, picked up a win, but as the night went on, it started to tail off for
59.
Martin Adams, and certainly when he had to move around the board, when he was here throwing in a concentrated area with repetition around the 20, it was fine, but that twist there, the movement I dubbed the Spider-Man, where the arm rotates
40.
and the wrist points up to the board. That is the issue for Wolfie these days. Not always getting that clean release.
60.
And so effectively, what's happening in the arm then for it to lock up like that?
It's not always just the arm. You see it there again. It's partly the release, partly the engagement of shoulder. He does have a very,
60.
very upright throw, so he does rely a lot on, shall we say, muscle to keep it an easy one, because it's hard for me to
97.
explain without being able to demonstrate it visually. So he has very, very little body movement, very, very static. So it's a lot of force needing to generate. And it's just timing it all wrong. And you see it there again, the Spider-Man, the rotation.
83.
It's an action that's hardly changed over the years. Made his debut at the Lakeside back
58.
in 1994. And if you go back through the archives, and particularly you go back through YouTube, that action has hardly changed in the 30 years that we've known Martin at the top end of the sport.
100. Justin, you require 127.
Amazing to think it was 38 when he made his World Championship debut.
55. Martin, you require 78.
Double 12 to take out the opening leg.
54.
The guy was just a little
Justin,
bit
you
too
require
far away for
72.
him. And so Justin Smith has a break opportunity here. Remember, he just needs the one win tonight to qualify himself through to the finals. He's looking at tops for his opening leg,
Game
and he
shot the
finds
first
tops for his
leg.
opening leg.
Justin Smith.
And he gets the break of throw that he needs at some point in the contest. Not
Second
overly
leg is
pleased
Justin
about the way he
to throw
played in
first.
leg one. A little
Game.
bit of a shake of the head. But he'll be happy enough to have that leg on the board.
57.
Yeah, 21 data that was to break the throw there for Justin Smith. And this is always my concern with Justin Smith, when he's got an element of comfort, when it feels like the job's about done.
180.
Just take the foot off the gas. Martin Adams,
47.
on the basis of that Mike Warburton result, does go to the bottom of the table, but is only a win away from closing in on Tommy Morris in a qualifying position, so has a lot to play for here.
60.
So this is very much a
100.
old school Modus match. These two go beyond the barriers of this studio. They played a lot of times in our previous incarnation of the tournament, the live league in Southampton. They even played against one another from home.
100.
You think about the Modus setup over the last 4 years, these two have very much been at the forefront of it.
100. Martin, you require 161.
Justin Smith was probably quite fortunate to get the break throw in the opening leg. Martin Adams has got a great opportunity here to get the throw straight back. 6 starts here from the 161.
60.
And when we talk about the changes within the game, a lot of people have been looking at the 25 and bull with that last start to try and make it a 2 dart combination.
100.
Now, Martin
you
Adams
require
needs to use
101.
all 3.
Now we look at Trevor 19 to give himself a dart at double 12.
89.
How many times has he
That's
taken out a
197.
101 for 15 darter over the years? It must be countless. It is countless. May think about double-double here. And that is stupendous from Justin Smith. The double 19, the double top. He's 2-0 to the good.
The leg it's Martin to
New
throw
school
first.
against the old school.
Game.
The tradition of Adams and the new flair of Justin Smith.
See a sort of half smile across the face of Martin Adams. I think he just enjoys shots like that nowadays. He's just enjoying
85.
being up there playing on the stage. You can imagine when you're ultra competitive and the only thing you're thinking about in your world is darts, shots like that
140.
really do hurt. But I don't think Martin Adams wears those blows anymore. He just enjoys the battle.
Well, this the side-on view of the throw of Martin Adams. So a better opportunity to really assess what you've been
45.
talking about over the last couple of legs. Whereas Justin kind of brings the dart
60.
round, doesn't he, before releasing?
You can just see that jolt, can't you, on the release. Better there, not all the time. It's not a consistent issue.
60.
But that's just how throws break down, become a little bit more inconsistent as you put a bit of mileage on the clock.
180.
Justin Smith fires in his first maximum of the night. I'm sure there'll be plenty more of those. But he is starting to go through the gears here. He's starting to really challenge the Martin Adams throw. And this leg would be a double breaker throw on full
45.
control to the Welshman.
Justin, you require 121.
It would put him to within a leg of qualification. And he's got all the time he wants, which is why he goes to 25 to the
Game
double
shot, the
18.
third
And in
leg.
terms of the finishing,
Justin
this has been an
Smith.
exhibition from Justin Smith. The 1-2-1
Well,
for
it's
12
Justin to
darter.
throw
He's
first.
3 out of 3 on the outer
Game on.
ring. And he's a leg away now from confirming his place through to tomorrow night's final. And all Martin Adams can
60.
do in the background is watch on in envy.
Martin Adams will battle tonight to the very end. But this could be a damaging defeat at the start of the
46.
night. We've seen Mike Warburton, who was bottom of the table, pick up his first win. That in our opening game, a 4-2 victory over Tommy Morris.
140.
And the legs difference could be very, very damaging if he can't get anything on the board here against Justin.
Well, if Justin Smith wins this game 4-0, Martin Adams will be sat rooted to the bottom of the table.
26.
2 points to his name, but also minus 12 in terms of legs difference. To put that by way of comparison, Warburton and Morris are both on minus
100.
5.
Just looking ahead to the fixtures and how it breaks down for Martin Adams, it doesn't get any easier. His next game will be in a couple of games' time
81.
when he'll be against the darts, against the man second in the table, who had one of the best nights I've seen him play here at the Super Series, that being Robert Thornton, the recent winner of the double week.
Justice Smith has left himself on 61 after 12. In a leg that, if he wins, will qualify him for tomorrow night's final. Martin Adams left in the distance, not just in this game, but potentially now in this group.
Justin, you've acquired 61.
One dart in his hand, a double 16, and it's the first dart that Justin Smith has missed at a double in this match.
Oh, you'd expect he's going to be getting plenty more. Martin Adams now can't leave a finish courtesy of the big 5. So he's going to get at least 6 more darts.
45.
The way he's been finishing,
Justin, you require 32.
he's not going to need them all.
Double 16. And the Bearded Dragon is back in the final. Justin Smith's renaissance in 2024 here at the Live Lounge continues. He beats Martin Adams by 4 legs to 0, beating Wolfie just like he did when he won his weekly title. For Adams, not the ideal start to the night. For Justin Smith, an average of 88.5, 4 out of 6 on the doubles. It was 3 out of 3 up until that final leg, and that 1-2-1 got him the double break. So Smith through to tomorrow night's final. Coming up after the break, Robert Thornton can pretty much put himself on the cusp if he can get the better of Tommy Morris.
Next year, when that decision needs to be made, he's going to be 49. 1 year shy of the age of the seniors.
A very viable option. 2 players who are around that age. Well, what did he say about the 9?
Will we get the 141? Will the promise come true? Double 12.
Shot and the match.
Steve West has won the match with a 9 dart.
Harrison has kicked off the last leg in perfect style.
It's everything, really. Oh, he's timing this well again.
180.
With a 9-darter, treble 19. Treble 15 leaves double 18. Franchise Harrison to win the game in perfect style.
Hauled himself out of it.
Yeah, it was something that Henry actually said in jest that I was quoted as saying Jared Cole is one of the most, sounds a bit fishy, blended on my grandpa Mark Salmon.
Do you? On a 177 and a 180. He's on a potential 9-darter.
Come on, Jared. Yes, you beauty!
Nice and high, and Fox has now got the game back into his
100.
own destination, and wow, the momentum is with him. Here we go.
108.
I wouldn't have said it. Don't jinx it. Yes. Yes! Double 12! Yes! Get in there, Lee Cox!
Well, I think it's fair to say that the blue touch paper has been well and truly lit.
108.
6th max of the match. Oh, hang about. Hang about. It's getting ridiculous now. Can Tommy Leishman give us back-to-back 9-darters in back-to-back games? He could, you know. He could, you know. Goodness gracious, wait!
Tommy Leishman.
Back-to-back 9-darters! Welcome back to the stunning, picturesque Modus Live Lounge here in Portsmouth for the Modus Super Series, where before the break, Justin Smith sealed his place through to the finals with a 4-0 win against Martin Adams, an average of 88.5. 4 out of 6 when it came to his finishing, and that 121 checkout. to get the double breaker throw. We've already seen Tommy Morris this evening. He lost out 4-2 to Mike Warburton in the first game of the night, and his stronghold on third place is very much in doubt now. And he takes on Robert Thornton, who begins the evening in second spot, 6 points to his name. A win here doesn't mathematically qualify him through to tomorrow night's final, but it puts him in a position where he is pretty much as good as confirmed to be there. The Fawn against the Gun, but for whom is game 3 going to be in their possession, in their leisure? It's Morris who has the darts.
It's Tommy to throw first.
In a game
on.
which, even at this early point, you sense he has to win because this is his second match of the night.
97.
I think it's going to be a good showdown, this one. Robert Thornton certainly warmed into the action yesterday. And I expect that he's going to be up for the fight,
60.
up for the battle once again. But maybe just needs a little bit of a
70.
tune-up once again.
Thornton taking the confidence
38.
from his double trouble win into yesterday's proceedings. It was his 12th attempt at a finals night across all
94.
competitions here at the Modus Live Lounge, and eventually he managed to cross the finishing line. And more than anything, you could
80.
see the relief on his face as he got that elusive win. And he was kind of insistent when I spoke to him off air after he won that particular title, and
58.
he was saying now he's broken that particular duck, that everybody else should be just a little bit wary.
95.
But you may have to be wary here with Tommy Morris, who's used his throw in leg 1 in perfect fashion, has left
98.
himself on a 2-darter. Thornton needs a couple of trebles to do likewise.
58. Tommy require 84.
Has to go 14 ball. And then
Game
finds the
shot
ball
the
to take
first
out the
leg.
opening leg.
Tommy Morris.
It clipped the corner, but it doesn't matter. The Gun won up.
Second leg, it's Robert to throw first. Game on. 83.
You've played Group B in the past, Matt. How do you find that dynamic when
140.
not played a game yet and your first match is against somebody who's already had a game under their belt?
100.
I actually like that third game spot, because how the rest of the night breaks down,
140.
you miss one, play one, miss one, play one. And that really helped Robert Thornton yesterday, that sort of system. He really did grow into the night. Not sat in the back room for too
135.
long. Sometimes you can be in there for an hour. Literally, you play your game, you come off, you've got 20 minutes or so, and then you're back on. It's the absolute dream position to be in.
57. $93. Tommy, you
Big last start to leave Thornton on a 2-darter, but this is for the breaker throw for Morris. He's unable to find the 164.
100.
Thornton
Robbie
may
require
just get a
90.
dart at the bull here to level this match up. Although that might be a nice guy for the treble, unable to utilise it. Down for the bullseye.
65.
It was the target that won Tommy Morris leg
Tommy
1.
require
It's not the
64.
target that's going to win Thornton leg 2. And Morris with a tangible break chance. Double 16. Would have been for 2 zip.
Robbie, you require 25.
Thornton going back to his normal route for 25. He did
Game
change
on
it
the
up last
second
night.
leg. Robert Thornton.
Experimenting with something new maybe, but tonight it's all business.
Third leg, it's Tommy to throw first.
It's about
Game
that
on.
qualification. There are only 2 places left of our
100.
6-player field for tomorrow night.
$100.
And I think the word that springs to mind when we talk about tomorrow night's lineup, regardless it feels of what's going to happen from here on in, is the word variety. You've got a 16-year-old, a 61-year-old guaranteed, a Swedish player who's a former champion, Justin Smith is looking for a second weekly title, and you could have another senior star in Robert Thornton, and somebody in Tommy Morris who's probably in the peak years of his career, looking to find that first big success.
140.
Just like last night, Robert Thornton starts slow and then grows into the game.
$140. Robert, you require 161.
Well, 6 starts from here for Thornton to get the breaker throw.
137.
And he's going to leave himself on double 12 after 12 to do exactly that.
140. Robert, you require 24.
To break the throw of Tommy Morris to get a bit of control in the mid part of this fixture.
Game shot in the third leg. Robert Thornton.
Positive reactions to positive darts from Robert Thornton.
Fourth leg, it's Robert to throw first.
A man who's got a
Game
lot of
on.
important darts to throw over the next 3 months as we close 2024. He'll be wanting to get his hands back on one of those seniors trophies.
60.
Yeah, the seniors match play is the next major event on the seniors circuit. That takes place on the 7th and 8th of October at the famous Barbican Theatre in York. Thornton won the first ever running of that particular tournament. It was played in Hull.
He won most of the first tournaments, didn't he, on the seniors tour, and even defended one of them with the Seniors World Championship. A crown I'm sure will be wanting to get back at the start of 2025. With darts like that, he's going to be a strong contender.
140.
Which is possibly why winning that double start title could mean so much to Robert, because it's so easy in the modern day when we're consumed by so many competitions and tournaments that if you have a period where you're not winning as much, you can almost be put into the background a little bit. And maybe after not defending that World Senior title, that may have been where Robert found himself. But he finds himself on the brink of a 3-1 lead here if he could take out the 114. Double 18 would have given him a dart at tops. And so Morris to get the break back and to level this game at 2 apiece. Look at it, 60. They felt quick and they felt rushed, and you could hear the frustration of Tommy Morris there. Down for double 19.
37.
But not a happy hunting ground for the Fawn.
20.
Probably thought the opportunity to break the throw and get that metric back had gone.
Game shot in the fourth
But
leg.
he's still in it.
Tommy Morris.
Tommy Morris looking to stay in the top 3. Got Mike Warburton, Martin Adams sat behind him on 2, just 2 points.
Game on.
Adrift of those at the moment. Mike Warburton coming up in our next game against Justin Smith, the man who's already qualified.
140.
So for Tommy Morris to keep it in his own hands, he needs to win this now best of 3 tussle here with the Thorn.
That should also be noted as well, because Tommy Morris has played the first 2 matches, he's going to be the
60.
first player to complete his quota of games tonight. And so he may be sitting around in the practice room wondering what happens later on this evening. And the 2 players that are below him in this table, Mike Warburton and Martin Adams, don't meet until game 10, the final match of the group.
100.
I can tell you that's the worst position to be in when there's games to play, you're still in contention, and you're not one of the people taken to the stage, and you've got to watch other games and hope for results.
Well, Morris has 6 darts here from 201 to turn a 2-0 deficit into a 3-2 lead. He was looking for the 25 there to leave himself on a 2-darter. Leaves himself on 114. And Thornton
25.
unable to leave himself on anything.
Tommy, you require 114.
So 6 from here. Triple 18. Leaves himself tops. For a ton topper to move Tommy Morris to within a leg of the match. A leg of a win, which following his opening defeat to Mike Warburton will feel so crucial and so needed.
And it won't offer any encouragement to Mike Warburton, who knows he needs a perfect night or feels he needs the perfect night. If he looks ahead of him and sees the next two players on 6.
41.
And when you look at the negative leg difference he's got as well, it will pretty much lay down that marker. Win all your games,
81.
or you're going home.
Well, Tommy actually had the
85.
highest finish of the opening night's play. It was only a 127 that was the biggest checkout yesterday evening.
44.
But crucially, that 114 puts Morris
43.
on the brink of a much-needed victory. And the way Roberts playing in this leg, he may well get a chance to do it against the darts.
121.
But will need a big score here to keep himself in contention in this leg.
95.
Just meanders around the periphery. Thornton 6 on 227.
95. 97.
We saw Ryan Branley hit this earlier on
132.
this afternoon to seal his spot through to tomorrow night's final. And he did so by hitting 25 first star and then the double 19 ball, but Thornton unable to replicate that feat, and this is for the match.
Straight ton will be the next best thing here for Tommy Morris. And that's a great dart. Pressurises the shot here for Robert Thornton.
Game shot on the 6th flag. Robert Thornton.
Brushes it side with no problems whatsoever. A little bit of a roar at the board there as well from Robert Thornton. He's up for this. He's up for this in a way that I haven't seen from Robert Thornton for some time.
What's the old adage? Winning breeds winning. And that victory in double trouble looks like it's just stoked a fire for Robert Thornton. Rekindled the flame. It's always been burning brightly. But there's been some extra fuel poured onto that particular fire. And Tommy Morris, who led this game 3-2, now finds himself in a bit of a precarious position. And if he loses this match, he is lurking over his shoulder.
91.
Just needs to keep doing that. Find a treble, a throw. When you've got the advantage of the darts, that's normally enough to give you a chance.
59.
Robert Thornton, despite the maximum visit, not finding a treble in the next two.
50.
Not been able to capitalise upon that fast start. Morris first to a finish, but Thornton with a couple of trebles. Big trebles, that is. Could have left himself
48.
on a two-darter, and he's just about left himself on a finish there.
It couldn't be any more level, could it? 3 legs apiece.
41.
160 apiece.
160.
Well, you get the feeling Thornton won't be drawing in on the 119. Could be drawing in on the match.
140.
Tops drifts below.
119.
He scared it all right. And it probably would have given Tommy Morris a bit of a scare. He's unable to find the treble.
59.
And so Robert Thornton from 3-2 down is going to get 3 darts in his hand at double 10. 1 left at double 5.
50.
And that would have been to have put him on to 8 points. And suddenly, how the tables can turn. Because he could have had a 4-point buffer on Tommy Morris. But if the gun fires this tops, the pair will be all square on 6 in this group. And they are all level on 6 points as Tommy Morris gets the better of Robert Thornton by 4 legs to 3. And it means that the Fawn is going to have to do the work himself tonight. He's going to have to pick up a couple more wins. He says he's a bit nervy. He says he's a bit shaky. Well, there was nerves at times in that contest, particularly when Thornton had a handful of darts to win the contest in the final leg. Morris getting over the line just for free against the twice former World Seniors champion. Coming up after the break, it is Justin Smith up against Mike Warburton.
Welcome to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Line.
They've both got the talent where they just reel off leg after leg and dish out a heavy defeat. And what a way to start the day. We're up and running here on Champions Week with a maximum.
But what a way to finish. A 12-dart leg.
Beautiful check out there from Cam Crabtree.
Only needs the one. Game shot on the second leg. Darius
What were you saying about efficiency?
Shot on the third leg.
Is that the moment that Reece Robinson comes alive in this crucial clash? Looks like he's going to go for it. And it is right next to his favourite double top. And he gets the job done at the earliest possibility. That is Cam Crabtree through.
Case not so. Harrison gets the all-important win.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius Labanowski. Game shot.
Well, Smith, is it
Darius
a
Labanowski.
9? A long time. And that clenched fist.
Game shot.
Well, he gets the job done in the end. He's nodding in total agreement because
Game shot on the fourth leg.
Just like
Darius
that.
Labanowski.
only needs the one. And there you can see
That she can unlock at any moment, but that is quality from Harrison. This would be a wake-up.
welcome to the party in Pompey. Should be a good marker for him, and is. It was a great guide.
Shot on the first leg. Andreas Harrison.
It's a breaker throw for Andreas Harrison.
Shot on the second leg.
Consecutive breaker throw, double 16 is found.
And he does lead. It's not an 11, but it's a beautiful 12, treble 17, which he gets. Bullseye for the win. Absolutely incredible by Andreas Harrison.
He's Andreas Dirty Harrison!
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where before the break, Tommy Morris got the better of Robert Thornton in a last leg decider 4-3. Thornton missing darts to win the match. Tommy Morris stepping in and picking up a win that puts him onto 6 points level with Robert Thornton in the group. And there is a possibility where the 4 players behind Justin Smith in the table can all finish on 6 points in the group. It does rely on Smith completing the card on both nights and joining a very small list of players to have done exactly that. His next assignment, Mike Warburton, who picked up his first win of Group B in his opening game of the session, beat Tommy Morris by 4 legs to 2, and suddenly from the bottom of the table and in a position of peril, he could find himself to within a couple of points of Messrs. Thornton and Morris, although he would have been cursing those missed darts from the Fawn before the break, but from nowhere he could be somewhere. But Justin Smith looking to put another nail in for the Welshman.
140.
I'm liking what we're seeing tonight from Justin Smith. I have been critical of his success so far in regards to the sustainability of it when it appears that the job's done. The foot comes off the gas. Not tonight.
There seems to be a
59.
new air, a new lease of life about Justin Smith. Became a father for the first time earlier on this year. And we have seen it and we have said it in the past about how nappy power can be some source of success in the sport. A lot of people contribute Gary Anderson's success in 2015 and 2016, around that time, to becoming a dad again.
100.
It is something that we have seen in the past.
Yeah, and I mean this in the most complimentary terms possible. To me, Justin Smith is one of the game's biggest underachievers. Because the raw ability he's got, the scoring power, the fluency.
140.
You'd imagine he'd have won more by now.
Now, Warburton here could have a 12 dart to start if he can pin the bullseye.
56.
Drags just below. Got the line okay, but the length
62.
not quite on point. And so Smith gets a dart at double 16 to save his throw, and that's exactly what he does.
Smith.
15 darter for the bearded dragon in the battle of the two Welshmen.
To throw first. Game on.
I think he was flying.
140. 95. 43. 100.
Even when Justin Smith isn't landing those big 140s, 180s, he's still finding a treble a throw at the moment.
100.
That is the part of the game that moves you through the levels.
59.
And this is what we mentioned so often about having a decent B game, in terms of if your scoring power isn't there like it usually is, just getting a treble a visit sometimes just gets you out of jail every now and then.
Well, it always gives you the opportunity, always gives you the chance. The worst thing to do is see your opponent miss and there's nothing you can do to impact that moment.
59. Mike, you require 135.
Warburton here is 6 on 135 to level this match up, and we saw this earlier on from the 16-year-old sensation Ryan Branley.
99.
Will be unable to deliver, but what he can do is leave himself on double 18 to square this contest up, having missed a dart to win leg 1.
60. Mike, you
He's
require
going to get
36.
3 in hand to take out leg 2. Double 9.
27.
This is that situation where
Justin, you require 128.
you want to be closer. Your opponent misses, and those couple of trebleless visits have left him a lot of work to do. Not up to the task on this
92.
time, but
Mike, you require 9.
I'll tell you now, Warburton will just be thinking, get this big one done first. No drama there. It's just kicked across a little bit, that.
Game shot on the second leg.
Nice adjustment.
Mike Warburton.
Could have got a little bit messy there.
Third leg, it's Justin to throw first. Game on.
That previous leg was a perfect illustration of the point you were making, in the fact that those couple of trebleless turns meant that Justin Smith was left on a finish like 128, where even just a treble somewhere would have left himself on 68, and a guaranteed dart per se, guaranteeing of course he gets a couple of big numbers at a double instead of
60.
potentially only a treble to leave the bullseye.
Yeah, an expected dart at the double, isn't it, there, in that situation? Certainly for someone who's got the talent and the form line at the
60.
moment that Justin Smith does.
I suppose it's the age-old question that we ask here at the Super Series as well. When a player qualifies through, and Justin Smith will know that he's through. He's been here long enough in a Group B to know that 10 points guarantees your place, provided, of course, somebody else wins a game. Will he know that he's through? And then we ask the question, where are the adrenaline levels as a result of that? And I have had it confirmed in my ear that he does know he's through, Justin.
He's been here long enough. He wouldn't need
60.
to be told or confirmed that. He is a watcher. He is someone who is aware of his surroundings and what's going on. So I'm sure he'd have known going into that last game that that would have been the job done.
134.
One of our Super Series super fans. There are a number of players that do watch on a frequential basis. Some of them for their enjoyment, some of them just scouting out potential opposition. That's probably what Andreas Harrison, Ryan Branley and Ross Montgomery are doing right now.
105. Justin, you require 139.
Well, 25 there leads Warburton on a single to double combo, and he is going to come back for it. 62 left.
107. Mike, you require 57.
Big moment in this game for Warburton. We know what this game means to him in regards to his chances here in Group B, and those two darts is something we could be talking about at the end of this match.
Double eight. And in terms of his doubling, Justin Smith has been efficient.
Justin Smith.
And he is so again. The double eight goes to open up a 2-1 lead.
It's Mike to throw
You speak so often about functionality when it comes to the doubles, and that's exactly what Justin Smith has been tonight.
$140. 100. $60. 96.
If you have just joined us, you're watching Game 4 of the evening session. Justin Smith leading Mike Warburton by
60.
2 legs to 1. Justin Smith has already guaranteed his passage through to tomorrow night's final. And if he wins this game, he'll be on 12 points in the group. Mike Warburton currently finds himself in 4th position, having picked up his first win of the group in the opening match of the night against Tommy Morris. Morris, in turn, got his first win against Robert Thornton in the last leg decider.
60.
Whilst Martin Adams yet to get off the mark in terms of points and in terms of legs on this Friday night.
58.
And Warby here has 6 darts on 181 to equalise this game up at 2 apiece.
$100.
A game that can very much be described as solid. Both players averaging in the low to mid 80s. It's okay without being truly spectacular.
Mike, you require 81.
And Warburton has the opportunity here to level this match up. It may just be a dart at the ball. The double 12 would have left double 13, but it's a dart at the middle segment,
56.
which clips just below.
This could be a very, very painful blow for Mike Warburton. It's the sort of range that Justin Smith has been operating in. He's going to get a dart at the ball.
99.
Grazes the wire, the width of a wire away from the break of throw and a 3-1 lead. It's for a level game.
Game show
And
number
Warburton
4,
makes no mistake on
Mike
double
Warburton.
8. And level we are at 2 apiece in this battle between these
Fifth
two
leg, it's
precocious
Justin to
Welshmen.
throw first. Game on. $100.
Beautiful first dart, and that's usually the perfect guide for Warby, but is unable to utilise it with dart 2 before
140.
finding a trouble with the third. The 140 puts the Smith throw under severe pressure.
139.
Thing is, for Justin Smith right now, he probably won't be feeling pressure. He knows the job's done, the task is complete, he's qualified. Now, he'll be trying to win the group.
140.
There is bonuses. There is extra prize money for topping the table.
128.
So there's still plenty to play here for Justin Smith. But the pressure is on Mike Warburton. He's the one out of position at the moment. He's out of position by 4 points. And there are only 4 more points to play for at the end of this one.
94.
Well, hitted against the tops after hitting
121.
Triple 18 with dart 1. Warburton 121. And this would be for a 12 darter, and this would also be for a break of throw if he could find the bullseye. And again,
96.
grazing it low. A lot of darts to that target for him have been pitched below the
Justin, you
target.
require 40.
Justin Smith, looking at tots a 3-2 lead. Beautiful first dart. Double 10
30.
does not go.
Mike, you require 25.
Well, we spoke about the 2 missed darts at a double early on in the game. Said how important will they be?
Game
We
show
won't
the
be
fifth
talking
leg.
about missed opportunities on
Mike
this
Warburton.
occasion. A big, big checkout. It's not all about the
Sixth
120s,
leg, it's Mike to throw
130s,
first.
150s.
Game on.
Sometimes those little combinations become the biggest finishers. He's broke the throat. He's in control. And he's a leg away from starting to turn this group around. Didn't find a single win
60.
yesterday, Mike Warburton. But he could be going full on Undertaker here.
But there is a possibility that
93.
before Mike Warburton plays again, he could be in third position in the group because actually scrap that thought.
85.
Let's have a look at the table, and I forgot that it was a live table, not a if something happens table. So scrap that floating thought. But what can happen for Mike
100.
Warburton is if he does win, he can move on to 4 points, and Tommy Morris's legs difference could get an absolute battering because his next game is against Justin Smith, and then Warburton will then play match 7 of the nights
140.
against Robert Thornton.
$83.
6 starts from here for the Welshman to complete a 4-2 victory.
$60.
What that 60 score has done is open up the door here for Justin if he can find something tangible.
100.
Finds the one
Mike,
treble
you
to leave
require
himself a 125.
156.
But this would be some way to see the game through. But the 156 won't be pinned to seal the game for Warby, and so Justin Smith
60.
to take us all the
Justin,
way, and
you
it means
require
that
125.
each of the last 2 games have gone to a deciding leg. But he's unable to take out the 125.
65.
Warburton to
Mike, you require
bring
96.
the curtain down on this contest.
He's got options. He may opt for the double-double with that line.
And he gets the double-double to double up his points tally for the evening. Mike Warburton was pointless on night one, but now he finds himself to within a couple of points of third place. 2 wins from 2 for Mike Warburton has put him very much in play. He's the first player to inflict defeat upon Justin Smith in this Group B. A 4-2 success for Warby means that he is in the equation and very much in the picture. Coming up after the break, Robert Thornton takes on Martin Adams, and this is a game of the utmost importance in terms of Wolfie's hopes of qualification.
Welcome to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Line.
They've both got the talent where they can just reel off leg after leg and dish out a heavy defeat. And what a way to start the day. We're up and running here on Champions Week with a maximum.
Well, what a way to finish. A 12-dart leg.
Beautiful check out there from Cam Crabtree.
Only needs the one.
On the second leg,
What were you saying about efficiency?
on the third leg,
Is that the moment that Reece Robinson comes alive in this crucial clash? Looks like he's going to go for it. And it is right next to his favourite double top. And he gets the job done at the earliest possibility. That is Cam Crabtree through.
Case not so. Harrison gets the all-important win.
Shot on the second leg, Darius Labanowski.
Well, Smith is it a 9? A long time. And that clenched fist. He gets the job done in the end. He's nodding in total agreement because
shot on the fourth leg,
just like that. Only needs the one. There you can see.
That she can unlock at any moment, but that is quality from Harrison. This would be a wake-up.
Welcome to the party in Pompey. Should be a good marker for him, and is. It was a great dive.
Shot on the first leg, Andreas Harrison.
It's a breaker throw for Andreas Harrison.
Shot on the second leg, Dan Crabtree.
Consecutive breaker throw, double 16 is found.
And he does lead. It's not an 11, but it's a beautiful 12, treble 17, which he gets. Bullseye for the win. Absolutely incredible by Andreas Harrison.
He's Andreas Dirty Harrison!
Welcome back to the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, where we have reached the midway point of our night's action here at the Super Series. And before the break, Mike Warburton was the first player to inflict defeat upon Justin Smith. A 4-2 win in the Battle of the Welshmen has put him back in position in terms of qualification. Our middle match of the night is a repeat of the first ever World Seniors final, as Robert Thornton and Martin Adams go toe-to-toe. It was a comprehensive win for the Fawn at the Circus Tavern in the February of 2022. The first of 2 titles that the Fawn would pick up in that particular competition. He'd retain it the year after, getting the better of Richie Howson in the final. And he'll be heading to the Circus Tavern again in February to complete a hat-trick of wins in that competition. No doubt we'll see Adams at the World Seniors in February. He's also going to be playing in the final 2 Seniors Majors of the year, the match play at the York Barbican and the Masters at the Nissan Arena in Sunderland. But it's rivalries renewed here. Thornton with the darts. He's on 6 points in the group. A win here would see him go 4 points clear of Mike Warburton with only 4 points left to play for. And he does take on Warburton in his next game. So Robert 2 wins away from completing his passage through to Saturday night's finale.
97.
If we judge this game based upon what we saw in the opening round of matches,
81.
everything kind of leans in the direction of a Thornton win, doesn't it?
It does, but
85.
we know not to judge on the previous game. It's all about the present, and we've seen flashes from Martin Adams. But you do fear that even though this is relatively now in darts a short format, it may just be a little bit too long for Martin Adams to hold that level of consistency against the likes of Robert Thornton.
134.
And I think Martin, by his own admission, goes along the line of it kind of is a case of what happens on the day.
$82. Robert, you require 125.
And leaving himself on a finish. Thornton look at the 125. And he's going to leave himself on
85.
tops
Martin,
if he
you
gets a
require
go.
140.
This would actually be the biggest finish of the group so far if the 140 went. But Adams isn't going to pin it. And so Thornton will come back for tops to take out leg one of this contest.
There was a time
81.
where when you saw Robert Thornton
Robert,
sat on
you
tops,
require 40.
if he didn't take it out, you'd assume you're not coming back. You'd think it was job done.
Game shot on the
That
first
time
leg.
is still
Robert
going
Thornton.
to the very day.
It was that double that was
Second leg, it's
dynamite
Martin to
for
throw
him.
first.
And he
Game.
won the World Grand Prix 9 years ago now at the City West Hotel in Dublin. Beat Michael van Gerwen in that final.
See that rotation again there from Martin Adams. A long way off.
7.
He's just not opening the hand, just turning the arm. That's when we're going to start seeing the darts going across to the ones and
83.
ultimately dropping low. An opening score of 7 is a massive invitation to the likes of Robert Thornton. This would be some response to the 7.
140.
Well, I think that's the indication of the point that we've been making about
60.
Martin, that we don't quite know what we're going to get from one moment to the next, a 7 to a 140.
It's exactly that. It's just that consistency, isn't it? There's so many good points of the Martin Adams game still. He's given us some big moments. He's 6 maximums.
85.
Across his 5 games so far, this is 6th fixture of the week.
100.
A player like Robert Thornton, you feel, is always going to just find a little opening somewhere within this pattern of play. Adams will not give in. I said it's been giving you some
180.
maximums. There's a 7th.
A maxi magnet is Martin Adams. And he's left himself an 89 to level this game up, and he is
52.
going to get a bit
Martin,
of time to do
require
so.
89.
Didn't need to look at the bullseye there, Martin Adams.
Game
And
shot.
that's
on
a
the
good leg
second
of darts.
leg.
He opened
Martin
that leg
Adams.
with a score of 7. And he's won it in 15
Third leg,
darts.
it's Robert to throw first. Game.
What a turnaround. That's 12 darts to complete the next 494 points.
83.
The way he took out those last 2 darts, the triple 18 and double 8, is interesting because I was having a bit of a chat with Martin Adams this evening, and the favourite topic of conversation in this building right now is darts math.
123.
And we were having a chat, well, I was having a chat with him about it, and He was basically saying, if an opponent's on a finish, I'm going to go for it in the way that plays the percentages.
96.
So, say a 92 or 90 or 93, I will go 25 first. And again, he will go in a situation of 70. If an opponent's on a finish, it's always going to be 20 and bull. But in that scenario, if he's not on a finish, then I will look at what best suits me. And that a perfect case and a perfect example of that. It's all about dart math, Matthew.
Yeah, we've been recording some videos this afternoon. They'll be available on the YouTube channel. Make sure you give it a subscribe. If you've got your notification bell on, you'll be able to see when they go live. Some useful, handy tips as well in there regarding the percentage plays and what ways to go for finishers.
125.
So, if you are one of those players that still require a checkout card, now's the time to hit the subscribe button.
140.
Well, there we go. That's the button that you need to click to subscribe to. Thornton looking at 82 to open up a 2-1 lead. Ill-opportune time for a bounce out.
Robert,
And
you require 82.
Owen Binks making sure that he picks up the dart for a man 40 years his senior. Tops.
42. Martin, you require 128.
That's where the bounce out doesn't help. Even a single would have left this a much easier equation for Martin Adams. But he's going to get a dart at the ball.
103.
Scared it.
Robert, you require 40.
For Thornton to put his nose in front.
Game
Pins
shot
the
on the
tops.
third leg.
And he re-establishes his lead at 2-1.
Fourth leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on.
It's a much improved performance from
137.
Martin Adams. The opening game averaging just 69.48.
180.
He's put nearly 30 points on his average here, averaging 97, but Robert Thornton serving it up to him now. First maximum of the game there for Robert. His 8th maximum of the week so far.
60.
It's that consistency, isn't it, there for Martin Adams? Big power score, 2 big trebles. Then comes up dry, then hits big, then comes up... It's sort of very in and out sort of form now, isn't it? Where those gel shots in between before would have been one treble shots, which sort of carried him to those big titles.
Well, effectively, he's relying on that A gain to drag himself out of the mire because maybe the bit just below isn't as consistent as it once was. Has got 6 here from 164, and he will go for this finish if he finds the treble 18. Bullseye, and he will go for it. And he almost got it. He's had a couple of close shaves on the bullseye, but Adams will be back for 25 to level this contest up.
96. Martin, you've required 25.
Double 8 for Wolfie. Can he just clip it off the barrel?
9.
He can, but the other side.
Robert, you require 120.
Just the one treble at a target Robert's been throwing at the whole game to get a dart at his favourite double. And that was
40.
the expected reaction there from Robert Thornton after that very wayward attempt.
And so 2 8s. This time works for Martin Adams to level this match up at 2-2.
Fifth leg,
10 minutes gone.
To throw first.
Nothing to separate this pair. Level at 2 apiece in this race to 4. A win for Thornton will put him on to 8 points,
98.
which isn't a mathematical certainty of qualification, but a lot of things will have to transpire against him for the Thorn not to make it through to what would be a 13th finals night across all competitions.
$59.
Big last start there to recover the situation and just keep him on the coattails of the Robert Thornton throw here.
99.
Thornton able to ride the blows better than he has been able to for the last, well, you'd probably say about 12 months.
He's just found this real purple patch again, hasn't he? Winning that double start title, he's playing with a lot more fluency. And I think he's also playing with a bit more of a relaxed nature. I think he knows the stage of his career he's at. He knows he's still got a very good level in his locker, and we all know he's got a very good level in his locker. But I feel like more than anything else, yes, he is chasing titles still, but he's very much going out there to enjoy himself.
$85.
Well, there's an opportunity here if you can find a couple of big trebles to start to challenge the Robert Thornton throw.
$55. Robert, you require 161.
6 starts on 161 for Thornton. 84 remaining.
93.
And across for treble 16. Because the treble would have left himself double 18.
Martin Adams is going to be there.
139.
Should Robert Thornton not be able to take out the 68? A big moment in this clash. That could be a big miss. Means he's only going to get a dart at the bullseye. But that's all he needs. What a fantastic dart that is for Robert Thornton. Looked like he was making a bit of a mess of it. A puff of the cheeks.
He knows Martin to throw first.
That could have got very tricky. Martin Adams sat on 58, ready to pounce, looking at the breaker throw. And Adams is around about 9 points better off in the averages. But just can't find an opportunity on the Thornton darts.
Yeah, Adams averaging 92.81. Both players have had 6 darts at the outer ring, and the key difference is that dart at the ball for Thornton.
Has Robert Thornton avoided the scare here?
45.
Starting to turn it up.
57.
You'll be wondering how you can go from a 180 to a 57. I mean, why he's throwing his arms up towards the board and looking up to the heavens.
Well, this is in the same match where Martin Adams kicked off a leg with 7 and then went out in 15. Ton needs himself on a finish against the throw. Adams needs a couple of trebles here to do likewise. And that's perfectly situated for another. Just shuffles across. But unable to find. And so Thornton 164 for the match. He's got 6 from here.
$96.
You can see he wanted and expected more. Maybe a sign that he's feeling good. Fear anything less than a treble here for Martin Adams and he's in big trouble.
40.
I don't mean that one.
Robert, you require 68.
Well, this is for the match and to put Robert Thornton on 8 points in the group. Trusty Tops puts Robert Thornton in a position now where he is oh so close towards qualification. It's not mathematically secured, but he's all but there. He gets the better of Martin Adams by 4 legs to 2 in a battle between 2 legends of this game. Thornton, just like in that World Seniors final against Wolfie 2 years ago, prevails the victor. An average of 86-81, 4 from 7 when it came to the doubling. He's on to 8 points, 4 clear of Mike Warburton, with 4 points for the pair left to play for, and they do play each other in Game 7 of the session. But prior to that, Tommy Morris is in action. He can also move on to 8 points if he could get the better of Justin Smith.
Hang on a minute.
Wow! Oh my God! Well, that's £100 down the drain already.
Itching to hit the 180.
He's gone for the maximum.
18 for the bull. Bull.
53.
No, he said bull. That's a great first start from Adam. Oh, look at this. He's going to leave Scape. Oh, can you believe it? That is unbelievable.
Get match starts to put his team into the final. And through to the final they go. Charlie Murphy has hit the match-winning dart on both occasions. Double 4 for the title.
Please show your appreciation for the winner of the Influencer Pairs event, George Scaife and Adam Lipscomb.
He seems to be out. That's what he is. Charlie Murphy. A couple more visits yet. We're not going to need that.
Bosh.
Pie Face is through. He gets
And
there.
he's absolutely buzzing.
It was a game that Pie Face dominated throughout. Got to ask it out, Mace. As gives us the bow.
Have a bit of that.
Alex Spellman.
Outstanding finish from Spellman.
16, steps back, has a good look. And nails it for a 3-0 win. What a brilliant performance from Fallon Sherritt.
John Lowe dart. Flights doing the Luke Humphreys finish.
The Highlander hits the heights. A 160 finish to break the throw of the net.
Big moment. Oh no! Johnson's just been hit with a bat.
This is a mammoth dart. That's a mammoth fight. That's the pitch.
Here we go. One leg shootout to see who clears sights in the final.
I think so. The one time I played early in the schedule, I didn't make the semi-final. The twice that I did,
match darts to get the better of John Worsley. That's just a flavour of what we've got to come. This is what we're going to watch next week at the Super Series. John O'Shea and Andy Hamilton looking to get their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton looking to make a return to Champions Week. Bradley Roos, another former weekly winner that's in action in Group A. As far as Group B is concerned, Lee Cox returns alongside Dave Wazutsky, his London teammate, and Shane Hayward, who came close to picking up a weekly win last time out. And we're going to see the long-awaited return of James Hubbard in Group C alongside Anthony Allen and Jack Tweddle. That's live from 9:30 a.m. on Monday morning. In terms of this evening's action, we are 5 games deep, and this is what we have seen. Before the break, Robert Thornton got the better of Martin Adams by 4 legs to 2. That puts him onto 8 points in the table. And once again, we're fairly uniformed in this Group C. Justin Smith leads the way, 10 points. He is through. Thornton pretty much home and hosed. Tommy Morris on 6, but looking over his shoulder, Mike Warburton has won both of his matches so far, and Martin Adams with just the solitary win to his name. So that is how the land lies in terms of next week and in terms of tonight. And our 6th game of the evening session sees Justin Smith and Tommy Morris go toe-to-toe. Again, another big game for the gun. And if he can make it back-to-back wins, he moves on to 8. And he effectively puts Mike Warburton on checkmate. Because if he then loses to Robert Thornton, it is all over bar the shouting. Because Adams can only get to 6 points. Warburton would only be able to get to 6 points. And Thornton and Morris would both be on 8, providing he wins this game with Justin Smith. So, big few matches coming up here, Matt. And
first
on the evidence of how both players have got on this evening, this is a fairly even game on paper.
95.
It is, and one player's up there battling for his life, battling for his chance and his opportunity on Saturday night. That's Tommy Morris.
100.
Justin Smith has already got it done. I feel when Tommy Morris has that bit of intensity in the game, that level of focus, we do get to see some very, very good stuff from him. And this is a game yesterday that I said I was really looking forward to. The pace of this match.
100.
It's going to suit both players. They're both going to bring out the best in each other. And I think we're going to have a very high scoring affair.
100. Tommy, Rock 130.
The pace is perfect. The standard is beautiful. Morris looking for tops on the back of the 131. That doesn't go, but what could Justin Smith make of the 121? Double 14.
107.
Goes inside. A rare miss on the outer ring this evening for the Bearded Dragon. Tommy Morris has missed 3 darts to take out this opening leg. Smith decides to split and then hits the double 4 to get the breaker throw. The Bearded Dragon up by a leg to 0.
Second leg is Justin to throw first. Game on. 77.
We said it'd be quick. An opening leg done in 1 minute 29 seconds.
140. 100.
Justin Smith is very much one of those players that it's felt like for a couple of series now has been knocking at the door. In the last series he played in week 1 and he lost in the final to Tom Sykes, and that was a really good quality evening. It was a great way to start a brand new series, that was. in that final. Lost out in the last leg, decided. Did have darts to win the week. Losing out despite having an average 4 points better than the Castleford Tiger. And he could find himself back on level terms here. The break that he accrued in leg 1 may well evaporate just as quickly as Morris, for the second leg running, leaves himself on tops after 12.
100. Tommy Maguire, 40. Game shot on the second leg. Tommy Morris.
A win here
Third
for
leg, it's
Tommy
to
Morris.
throw first. Game on.
And it's pretty much done. It certainly would be if Robert Thornton was able to beat Mike Warburton in the next. So the next couple of games are really going to tell us a lot in regards to this league table.
A win for Tommy Morris here would confirm what seems to be the inevitable, and Martin Adams would be eliminated from
100
proceedings, would be out of the competition. His Series 9 would end very, very early. The three-time Lakeside champ.
100. $140.
Morris here running at an average in excess of 106.
60. Tommy Brook, 136.
Left himself on tops after 12 in each of the first two legs.
96.
He does so for a third time in succession. In terms of scoring in this game, 4 ton plus turns, 4 ton 40 turns. The scoring's been immaculate, but 1 from 5 on the outer ring. But he does have plenty of time to take out leg 3.
No score.
And he's going to need that time as well.
$100.
Well, this would be for the first holder throw in this contest after a couple of breaks to kick start.
Game shot.
And this time, when Justin Smith applied the pressure, Tommy Morris duly obliges on tops, and he moves 2-1 in front.
Justin to throw first. Game on.
And I can imagine there's probably a little part of Robert Thornton that's thinking Tommy Morris wins 45. Here, then it does me a favour, because it becomes as simple as I beat Mike Warburton and I am through. And then it's all done. 10 points will guarantee Robert through anyway. But it just 59. Simplifies what is already a fairly easy equation.
$100. $81. $47. $97.
Well, Justin will start down on the 19s on 309.
99.
And that's because a second treble 20 there would have left himself on the big fish. Morris needs to
43.
On either treble 20 or treble 18 to leave himself on a finish. Treble 20 would have left himself on 164. The treble 18 would have left himself 60. On the fish.
You can tell Tommy Morris knows the important situations. He just approaches it a little bit slower, doesn't he? Just takes that little extra bit of time in the approach plate.
132.
He's on a bogey finish. It was an unfortunate dart rather than an error. Just overshooting and ended up in the treble 5.
Justin, you require
expected Justin Smith split here. He does prefer it over on the double 8. That's tricky. You can see how he's blocked it up. He's looking left, he's looking right. He's trying to find an angle where he can get a bit of a clear sight.
2. Tommy required 66.
Doesn't go, and so Tommy Morris here has an opportunity to build up a 3-1 lead. He's going to get one dart in his hand at tops. An exhale of breath. He knows the significance of this dart.
46.
And he knows the significance of that miss, potentially. He could have had this game in the palm of his hands. He hit that tops. He would have had the darts to win the contest. 2-2s for 2-2.
Game
And a level contest
leg.
we have.
Justin Smith. Fifth leg, it's Tommy to throw first.
Tommy Morris missed a dart at tops to be throwing for the match right here, right now. And he has been punished to the hilt by the bearded
85.
dragon.
$100. $139. $59. $30.
Well, that could be a moment. He had the advantage on the scoreboard. He was protecting his throw well.
60.
Needs to conjure something up here.
100.
Finds a trouble to leave himself on a finish, but he's hopeful that Justin Smith hasn't got something seismic in his locker. But luckily for him,
84. Tommy Brookline 147.
that trouble with the last dart doesn't leave him on a finish. And so Morris 147 and 6 from here to
55.
move 3-2 to the good. But it does feel like he is throwing with that air of desperation.
You could sense the passion in Tommy Morris when he came into the venue this evening.
80.
How badly he wants to get through to tomorrow night.
$38.
Not only that, it's
Justin
actually his
Brookline,
daughter's
180.
birthday tomorrow. And how he said he'd love to be here playing darts.
98.
To do that, you feel this 54 has to go.
Tots are 3-2. Double 10. Huge dart. And he knows that if he misses it,
34.
Justin Smith is back for the same target.
Justin, you require
And if he
20.
finds it, he'll be throwing for the match.
Game shown
And
the
Justin
fifth
Smith
leg.
has the darts to
Justin
inflict
Smith.
what may well be a demoralising, damaging and potentially catastrophic
Sixth leg,
defeat
it's
upon Tommy
Justin
Morris.
to throw first. Game on.
How quickly the tables can turn, because Tommy had darts to throw for the match. Missed that dart at tops. And since then, it's all been about the
100.
bearded dragon this contest.
I think how the tables could turn is a perfect way of putting it, because it could turn the table.
41.
It'll offer encouragement to Mike Warburton, who started the night at the bottom without a single win. He comes up next against Robert Thornton.
60.
He could reel in those top 3 places.
Well, if Tommy Morris loses this match and Mike
82.
Warburton wins the next, he will go into 3rd place in the table. And Warburton's last game of the evening is against Martin Adams, who, if the truth be told, is just struggling a
180.
little bit this evening.
76. Justin,
Justin Smith
161.
has got 6 darts here from 161 to complete a 4-2 victory. Not to be on this particular occasion.
85.
He's going to return for a 2-darter to cross the finishing line. Tommy Morris has
98.
had his
Justin
opportunities in this match. He's
76.
missed 10 darts of the double. And now he hopes that Justin Smith has a similar misfortune on the outer ring. He's going to get a dart at tops to win it.
56.
And he's going to come back for 3 more at double 10 thereafter.
Wow, did that flight feel very, very flat there from
85.
Justin Smith. Regardless,
required
match
20.
opportunity to top the group pretty much.
Justin Smith moves on to 12 points in the group and inflicts a defeat upon Tommy Morris that could be fatal in terms of his hopes of qualifying through. It puts the ball in the court of Mike Warburton. Warby, who remember didn't have a point before the night got underway, is now in the box seat in terms of progression. Wins his final 2 matches, and depending on legs difference, he could pretty much be there. He plays Robert Thornton in the next. Our 7th game may well be the most crucial match of the night. And we're going to be watching that on the other side of this short break. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where because of Justin Smith's margin of victory against Tommy Morris before the break, Robert Thornton is confirmed through to tomorrow night's final. The Fawn, who won in double trouble, is now looking to do it in a regulation week. He's completed one step of the journey. Tomorrow night, can he finally cross that winning line? Up against him, Mike Warburton, who, with victory in this match, would leapfrog Tommy Morris in the table. And his final assignment is against Martin Adams, who plays 2 of the last 3 games this evening. The
134.
3-time Lakeside champion. That's for the Fawn. I'm not quite sure whether he will know that he's through because of the complexity 62. Of the permutations, because effectively, Thornton is through because of a better legs difference swing than Mike Warburton. There's a 14-leg swing, and there's only 12 legs that can be ascertained between the pair. And so that is how the Fawn has secured his ticket through to tomorrow night's final. He's probably thinking a win here, and he's pretty much through, I'd imagine.
96.
Warton can finish above him, but Morris cannot finish above the Fawn.
82.
So in summary, we now know 5 of the 6 players that will be here tomorrow night battling for the weekly title, and that golden ticket through to Champions Week. There is one place left available.
58.
Tommy Morris currently occupying that place, but a win here for Mike Warburton will make it very interesting.
57.
Martin Adams got 2 games still to play. That is against Tommy Morris and against Mike Warburton. The 2 players he's in that battle with.
100. Robbie, you reckon 128.
128 and 6 darts to take out the opening leg. Double 10.
Game shot the
The
first
Thorn
leg.
with a thunderous
Robert
finish. The
Thornton.
128 goes. A 15 darter, 4 starters.
Second leg,
The
it's
Thorn
Mike's to
up and
throw
running
first.
with an absolute
Game.
corker.
$81.
Well, I don't know what has clicked into gear for the Thorn in recent times, but this is a man with a new lease of life.
60.
A different vigour, a different purpose.
$96.
This is the Robert Thornton that
96.
for the last 12 months, as you mentioned a bit earlier on, we haven't maybe seen as much of, but it just looks like he's found a real air of confidence, and his game in the minute is in such a good place.
180.
Albeit with a max there to leave himself on 144 to equalise this game up.
100. Mike, you require 144.
Solid hold from Robert Thornton of 15 darts in the opener. Mike Warburton looking to reply in kind.
100. $140.
The
Mike,
Thornton's
require
lurking in
44.
case there's a miss. There's a 15 from Thornton leg 1. Could be a 14 for Warburton in leg 2. 36 scored, which means 8 left, and so double 4. Which does not go, and it
Robert, you
presents
require
Thornton with an
105.
opportunity here with a 105 for back-to-back tub plus checkouts,
65.
just above the tops wire. And
Mike,
so
you
Warby has
require
been given a reprieve
8.
here. Be a sense of Thornton
Game
back in
shot the
hand for it
second leg.
tops. He
Mike
couldn't have
Warburton.
afforded to pass another one by. The double 4 goes first time, and a level match we have
Third
at one
leg, it's
apiece.
Robert to throw first. Game on.
Just stayed out the way of drama. The drama came from the misstart from Robert Thornton. You don't want to be leaving that last start in
96.
hand or chasing it around the board if you're Mike Warburton. You want to be doing it with minimum amount of fuss.
$100.
There was a feeling before the action got underway this evening that if anybody could wrangle their way out of this particular scenario, it might be Mike Warburton.
80.
We have seen it before, haven't we? When players have that start to a Group B campaign, they lose all the games. It's very, very rare do we ever see it, but
100.
he wouldn't be the first player to do this. It has happened before. It is a doable task.
99.
We saw Dennis van der Ende, didn't we, in Group C today, lose every single match on day 1 and then go within a game of completing the card on day 2,
100.
although, of course, the dynamic of Group C compared to Group B is completely different to beast. Lost out to Ryan Branley, who himself completed the card in that final game of the
56.
session.
Well, he covered the situation with the last start there, Robert Thornton, to get himself down to a finish.
$60. Robert, you require
Warburton
107.
not really able to do much damage.
92. Mike, you require 141.
141 for Warburton for the breaker throwing a 2-1 lead. Not to be on this occasion, and so Thornton will come back for 78 to put his nose in front on throw.
78.
And it's going to be one dart at tops.
Game
But he
shot
finds the tops.
Thurberg.
And Thornton
Robert
fires
Thornton.
himself back in front at 2-1. A match which is
Thorberg
going
against Mike to throw
exclusively with
first.
throws so far.
Game on.
But Warburton needs to change that fact at some point. But first things first, holding on to throw in leg 4.
83. $60.
Interestingly, this week we have one of the youngest players who've ever played on this stage and one of the oldest players to have played on this stage. The oldest ever player to play here, by the way, is Mark Layton, who was 69 years of age when he played in Series 1 Week 12 back in the October 2022. That was a Legends Week here at the Live Lounge.
100.
Ryan Branley, 16 years of age, one of a handful of players aged under 18 to have played here. And in fact, the gap between the oldest player this week, Martin Adams, and the youngest player this week, Ryan Bramley, is a whole 52 years. The age gap is eligible to play in the World Seniors.
85.
I've said it a few times this week. I'm going to say it again. Age is no boundary to this sport.
$180. $100.
This to
Michael
level up at
requires
2-2.
78.
And Maximum just giving Warburton a little bit of breathing space. The double
Game
12 is
shot
for
the
14
fourth
darter.
Mike
And we have a level
Warburton.
game once again.
Fifth leg, it's
All
Robert
on
to
throw
throw
so
first.
far, but Warburton needs to change that fact. Thornton's through. All he's playing for is position.
140.
Warburton needs this win, and if he does win, he will temporarily jump up to third ahead of Tommy Morris's match with Martin Adams in Game 8 of our
100.
evening session.
$97. $100.
I think it's going to be really
60.
intriguing to see what happens with Robert over the next 12 months or so. He'll be going for that third World Seniors title in February. As the Double Trouble 2 champion, you would suspect he's going to get the
60.
opportunity to retain that when we play that again. But I do think the one thing that is missing from that list that he wants so much is a weekly title
58.
in its own right here.
$100. Robert, you require 146. $86.
We feel
Mike,
like
you require
Warburton's going to need a big moment
141.
like this to get the break, a throw off of Robert Thornton, because he's not outscoring him in the front 9. Either that, or he needs a slip from Robert
89.
Thornton. But how many times does Robert
Robert, you
Thornton
require
slip up on
60.
tops?
Particularly with more than one in hand. But it's double 10.
Game
And there is
shot
no
the
mistake
fifth
from the
leg.
Thorn. He
Robert
leads
Thornton.
3-2. There's a maximum of 2 legs remaining in this contest. And Mike
Sixth leg,
Warburton
it's Mike to throw
desperately needs
first.
them both.
Game on.
it could well hinge on the next quarter of an hour or so, because if Warburton loses this match and Tommy Morris beats Martin Adams, it's all over. We know the 6 players that will progress through to tomorrow night's finale here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And you can be here as well on this Saturday night. www.dartshot.tv, the website. That QR code takes you over to said website to get your tickets for each and every single Saturday evening here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Not just that, but there's also tickets to various events and exhibitions towards the end of 2024 where you can actually see some of the stars of the Super Series in action. Tom Sykes and Fallon Sherrick were playing at an exhibition alongside David Evans in Wigan yesterday evening. But Portsmouth, very much the top attraction as far as we're concerned. And you can be here. Champions Night on December the 7th. There's also a couple of Saturdays in November where you get double bubble in terms of Tungsten action. Scan that QR code. Have a look at dartshot.tv. It's only a couple of quid to book. And maybe see whether there's a Saturday night that takes your fancy here at the Modus Super Series as Robert Thornton closes in on a 4-2 win. A win which puts Tommy Morris on the hill.
140.
The gun could fire his way into the showdown if he beats Wolfie. Should Thornton take out this 85.
60.
And it just looks like Mike Warburton here has ran out of a little bit of steam. Draw 17 will be the target. Doesn't have to chase 25 bull.
45.
And we'll head back with 3 darts at tots to win this match.
And this will be to the delight of Tommy Morris, who is just sat in that final qualifying position at the moment. Warburton breathing down his
97.
neck. But it's Thornton's game to lose 40. From here.
And it's Thornton's game that he has won. He gets the better of Mike Warburton by 4 legs to 2. And that could spell disastrous to Warby's hopes of making it through. He has to hope that Tommy Morris loses out to Martin Adams, and then he is going to have to beat Martin Adams if he is to stand a chance of completing the miracle comeback charge. Thornton, a 4-2 winner with an average just under 90, 4 out of 6 on the doubles. We are going to see him in tomorrow night's finale. As for Warburton, well, his hopes dangle on a nice edge. Coming up after the break, it could be all over. If Tommy Morris beats Martin Adams, we'll know the 6 players that are through to tomorrow night's final. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where before the break, Robert Thornton got the better of Mike Warburton by 4 legs to 2. And that means by the end of this game, it could all be over in terms of the race for qualification. Justice Smith was through a long time ago. Robert Thornton is also there. And if Tommy Morris can beat Martin Adams in game 8 of our evening session, we will know the final 6 that will be playing for the jackpot and for the second place at Champions Week at the beginning of December. Well, there's been points this evening where Tommy Morris has been in a little bit of peril in a couple of sticky situations, but that defeat to Robert Thornton for Mike Warburton has just eased those shoulders a little bit and has put his destiny back in his own hands against Martin Adams, who has lost both of his matches so far this evening, but there were signs of improvements in his second match against Robert Thornton. But for Tommy Morris,
Martin to throw first.
it's his last game of the group.
Game on.
And boy, would he love to just get the job done now and not go through the emotional roller coaster in game 10.
Earlier on in the night, we spoke about this exact possibility. And when we spoke about this, we said about how it would be
85.
horrible to have to sit and watch other games and hope for results or scores or different possibilities.
55.
This is the chance. This is the moment, and this is what you play for to have that one shot and opportunity. To have that time when you go up on the stage and have it in your own hands. And right now, Tommy Morris has that.
In terms of mentality, do you
85.
almost treat it as a knockout game?
Oh, absolutely. This is all or nothing. Can't rely on other things to go your way when you're not the one on the hockey.
$140.
Well, Morris off to a slow start so far in this contest, and it's allowed Adams here to really race away with leg 1. And I suppose this is the difficulty of the situation for Tommy, because he's going to be playing with all the intensity,
45.
all the flair, all the want in the world to win. Whereas for Martin Adams, he doesn't have that pressure on his shoulders, and so
98.
that could make him just a little bit more of a dangerous quantity. He's got 6 here from the 146 to take the opening leg, with the gun yet to get out the starting block.
$90.
Big rescuing dart there from Martin Adams.
$84. Martin, you require 56. Game shot on the first leg. Martin Adams.
Well, that's the first blow for the chances of Tommy Morris.
Second
It was
against
just a
Tommy to
hold a
throw
throw there
first.
for Martin Adams, but Tommy is going to need to break the throw at some point in this game.
97.
I think what will be interesting is what happens if Martin would break the throw in this leg and go 2-0 up. Because then panic stations really could begin to
85.
set in for Tommy the Gun.
$45.
And the gun misfiring at the moment.
Well, Tommy, another one of those players that has been taken under the ring of Steve West. Has been very influential in terms of helping him get sponsors and helping him in terms of just general
59.
stuff like going on tour on the ADC and just maybe some of the little bits about the game that Steve would know through his experience are things that Tommy can kind of learn from him.
100.
When it comes to experience, they don't become, or they don't come more experienced than Martin Adams.
85.
He isn't just going to let one result or a couple of results dwell upon his fighting spirit. Averaging 87 here, and on the cusp of that break that we spoke about just a few moments ago.
90. 59. Martin, you require 126.
He's looking at this 126. And needs the treble 19 to give himself a dart at the bullseye. Not to beat. And so Morris needs something marvellous from here.
58. Tommy,
Because he has been a long way off in this contest. But this would fire him into life.
100.
I think he really fancied that. The second dart through very quick.
68.
Normally, that's when you really do feel like you've got the weight of the dart right. You just expect it to follow the first one that's in the target. The target here is double 16.
Game shot on the second leg.
Ruthless from Wolfie, and he gets the breaker throw. He leads 2-zip, and he has this game exactly where he wants it. And suddenly, Mike Warburton, somewhere in this building, is probably looking at a TV screen and looking very, very happy because suddenly he is getting glimmers of hope.
You can see the panic, can't you, on Tommy Morris.
90.
Glancing over to the scoreboard, the second Martin Adams, it's a treble 20.
100.
The excitement and nerves are so close together. When the heart rate starts to rise, you've got to believe it's excitement, the heat of the battle, the enjoyment, the thrill of the fight, as it was once described in a song.
Well, you mentioned earlier that Tommy Morris would like to play here on his daughter's birthday tomorrow. I think selfishly, his daughter's probably thinking
95.
if Dad does go out, then he can spend the whole day with me.
Not sure she's old enough to think like that. I think he said she was 2.
$45. 96. 85.
Well, Morris here has 6 on 210 to get that break back, return the game to throw, and limit the damage that has been caused in the first couple of legs of this contest. Not just is he 2-0 down in this match, he hasn't had a dart at the double yet.
$59. Tommy Require 87.
Well, that's about to change.
77.
But the scoreline doesn't.
Require 122.
Treble 18 would leave the ball. Not going to be. So Tommy Morris.
54.
With a good opportunity here to get that breaker throw immediately back.
6.
But he cannot find the double 2. And so Martin Adams here is back for a 3-0 lead. 2 in his hand, a double 4. Double 2. The target Morris has just missed is the target that Adams finds. He's 3-0 to the good. And suddenly Mike Warburton is right back in play here.
Tommy to throw first. Game on.
And it's not out of the distinctive possibility that Martin Adams can make his way through. Because if he wins this 4-0, he moves on to 4 points and -10. Morris would be on 6 points -10. And obviously he can't do anything else from that point. And then if he beats Mike Warburton in the final match by a big scoreline and a big margin, then suddenly, miraculously, incredibly, insert other adjectives, Martin Adams will be through.
Was that Tommy Morris's chance there, though? Essentially had 4 darts.
140.
Make it 2-1, 2-1 and 3-0. Massive, massive difference. Certainly in regards to the feel of things.
100.
He's going to battle this to the very, very end. It's Tommy Morris. He's not just going to lay down and wait for plan B to go into motion.
And so actually, as a consequence, this leg could be of the utmost importance, because if Adams wins 4-0,
35.
then because they both be on -10 in terms of legs difference, Mark would only need to win against
60.
Warburton to go through, because Warby be stranded on 4.
Yeah. It's that part of the day, isn't it, where we're looking at legs, not just results. But this is a good leg from Tommy Morris. He's got himself a nice gap in the scoreboard. But Adams is down to a finish.
Tommy Rock 180.
Oh, just press the urgency button here for Tommy Morris, who takes out a great finish there. That is a good response there from Tommy Morris after fluffing his lines in the last. He's still battling,
Gets Martin to throw first.
still keeping his hopes alive of getting the job done here and going straight through with no drama in the last couple of matches.
So Martin Adams now, in terms of qualification, is
120.
dangling on the cliff edge. If he loses one more leg, he is gone. The tungsten tightrope is no
100.
more. And the rug is pulled from beneath the carpet.
$100. $76.
I was just about to say that could be the final blow for Tommy Morris, and then he finds a big treble. A real key dart. But Martin Adams looking good here on throw.
140.
Tommy Morris is going to need to see Martin Adams miss doubles at the back
95.
end of this leg.
Martin, you require 140.
He's out of his hands.
Well, Morris hit Adams with the 118 in the previous leg, but Adams cannot hit back with the 141. But what he is going to do is leave himself in situ.
55.
He's on 86 to secure a 4-1 win.
100.
Well, that leaves him
Martin, you
hope.
require 86.
130 is not a bad outshot.
Double 16 for the match.
54.
And that would have been to have kept Martin
Tommy,
Adams in
you
it by the
require
finish of
130.
Freds. This to eliminate Adams. The bullseye. To send Wolfie packing. And to keep him in the box seat.
91. Martin, you require.
But he's unable to
32.
oblige. And that could be that. That could be the last dart Tommy Morris throws. In Series 9, because Martin Adams wins by 4 legs to 1.
Martin Adams.
He is still in it by the most meagre of margins. He is hanging by a cliff edge. There's still a chance for Morris, but he has to rely on the outcome of game 10 of the session. just when you thought it all looked secure and it all looked like, in terms of the permutations, it was going to be settled, there is still a lot to be decided, and still just about everybody is in the race. Martin Adams gets the better of Tommy Morris by 4 legs to 1. Coming up after the break, the two players that can just sit pretty, put their feet up, relax and just enjoy another game of darts as Justin Smith takes on Robert Thornton.
Hang on a minute.
Wow! Oh my God! Well, that's £100 down the drain already. Itching to hit the 180. He's gone for the maximum.
Team for the ball. Ball.
53.
No, he said bull. That's a great first out from Adam. Oh, look at this. He's going to leave Scaife.
Oh, can you believe it? That is unbelievable. Get match darts to put his team into the final. And through to the final they go. Charlie Murphy has hit the match-winning dart on both occasions. Double 4 for the title.
Game shot out of the match. Please show your appreciation for the winner of the Influencer Pairs event, George Scaife and Adam Lipscomb.
He seems to be out. That's what he is, Charlie Murphy. A couple more visits yet. We're not going to need that.
Bosh.
Pie face is through. He gets
And
there.
he's absolutely buzzing.
It was a game that pie face dominated throughout.
Charlie Murphy might be saying easy now, but the permutations are anything but. In terms of this game, Robert Thornton up against Justin Smith, a 4-1 and 4-0 win for the Form will mean that he tops the group. Justin Smith effectively needs just 2 legs to guarantee top honours. And then in the last game, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, because there are 3 different types of permutations that are in play. But we will get to that one when we get to Game 10. This, our penultimate match of the night. It sees the Bearded Dragon and the Fawn go toe-to-toe. 2 of the great darting nations going toe-to-toe as Wales takes on Scotland. And it is Justin Smith who has the darts. Who, you have to say, over the course of a couple of nights, a lot to be impressed with.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a good week so far for Justin Smith, and he'll want to finish it in the best style going. But there's going to be some serious rivals, isn't there? On Saturday night, Andres Harrison winning Group A. And I think there'll be a lot of people tuning in to see young Ryan, the winner of Group C. He was mightily impressive, losing just 1 of his games across his 10 matches.
Yeah, doing some fantastic stuff is Ryan Branley. And it was interesting, we were speaking to him earlier on this afternoon after he won that Group C. He said, do you know anybody that's coming down? And he said one or two, but I think there might be some people that may have been inspired by Ryan. I think there might be one or two that may be heading here tomorrow thinking, I might well be watching a star of the future in action right here, right now.
140. Justin, you require 111.
Triple 17 would have given him a dart at top to take out the first leg, but he has got a plethora of time on his side.
51. $100. Justin, you require 60.
For 1-0. 20 leaves tots, but that dart could well be obscuring.
40. Robert,
Just
you
felt
require
awkward,
98.
didn't it?
$35.
Thornton hasn't really done much in this leg. He's
Justin,
kind
you
of
require
allowed
20.
Justin Smith to move along leg one at pedestrian pace. But he could
No
nick it
score. Robert, you
because
require
Smith's missed
63.
5 opportunities to cross the finishing line. And Thornton's going to get a dart at Trusty Tops.
23.
Dragged above the wire.
Justin, you require 20.
And so Smith will come back with another opportunity at double 10. Should use that dart as a nice guide. Tried to clip off the barrel as you saw there.
No
But if
score.
anything, he
Robert,
got
you
further
require
away.
40.
Old faithful for Thornton.
Game shot on the first leg. Robert Thornton.
Justin Smith had plenty of opportunities there. Robert Thornton apologises.
Second
to
leg is
Justin
Robert to
Smith.
throw first.
Maybe
Game.
feels it was a bit of a steal there on the Justin Smith throw.
Oh, Robert. Justin Smith squandering 8
140.
opportunities to get that first leg won.
100.
I thought you weren't allowed to apologise for winning legs, Matt.
I mean, I'm not a fan of that, to be honest.
41.
Just make sure that you practice what you preach when you play later on in this series.
70.
It was Chris Mason, wasn't it? Who was always talking about people shouldn't apologise and then went up there and started doing it himself.
Well, I'll tell you the story behind that, because I was at the Champions
60.
Week. So, me and Mace were commentating on the Monday to Wednesday, and I cannot remember the player, but he apologised for winning the leg, and Mace said,
140.
I'm not having it. And then, on the Thursday night, he plays the Group B, and then apologises for winning the leg.
96.
It's very easy when you're sat up here to be making suggestions, I suppose.
60. Robert, you require 164.
Absolutely, we can all talk a great game.
$80. Justin, you require
Robert
122.
Thornton not doing a bad job at throwing one here.
$97. Robert, you require 84.
Should be expecting at least a bullseye dart. It's going to be 2. A double 12.
Game shot on the second leg. Robert Thornton.
Look what it means to Robert Thornton. He's already qualified, but he wants to win this group.
Third leg is Justin to
Remember,
throw first. Game.
There is an increase in prize money depending on your league finishing position. So it's not just about qualifying. You'll actually get
140.
more prize money for winning the group than if you come second.
The irony is, though, if you win the group, you have to play Ryan
100.
Bradley in the pool phases tomorrow. That's your reward.
84.
I think that's a challenge that Robert Thornton would relish.
180.
I think he likes those sort of battles. When someone's coming through, he likes to pit himself against them. He likes the head-to-head wars.
140.
Certainly taking the game here to Justin Smith.
100. Justin, you require
Frail of the arm in the air. Knows that he should be further down than 1-2-1, that he should be on a 2-darter. Particularly now Justin Smith hasn't been able to
41.
do anything with the 1-3-7.
121.
If he gets this, he'll throw to win the group. Bullseye.
86.
Wide of the mark.
Justin, you require 96.
And this is how things can suddenly change, because if Justin Smith took out that 96, then
Robbie required 35.
he'd be back to within a leg of topping the group. But Thornton
on a
throws
third
to
leg.
win the group by
Robert Thornton.
pinning that double 16 for 14 darter, a break of throw.
Fourth leg, it's Robert to throw first. Game on.
A rueful shake of the head there from the bearded dragon. It's a group that he's dominated for large
85.
swaths.
$80. $140.
Robert Thornton's best performance of the night came yesterday. He averaged 101.90. It doesn't feel,
57.
or it isn't, up to that sort of level, but it still feels good. It feels controlled. Feels in command of all the moments.
55.
Justin Smith really unable to land a blow, unable to recover from all those missed darts in the opener.
60.
It's all unravelled for the bearded dragon.
$100.
And so Thornton
140.
isn't going to get 6
121.
mathematically, but theoretically we'll feel he's got 6 and 1-2-1 to wrap the job up. And of course, that's
81.
providing Smith
Justin, you require
has he got a
164.
1-6-4 in the lock, and if he does, he suddenly throws to win the group. But he's unable to find.
64.
Thornton
Robbie
looks
require
at tops
40.
for a 4-0 win. Double 10. And Robert Thornton is the winner of Group B.
Robert Thornton.
He gets the better of Justin Smith by 4 legs to 0. And it is the Scot that is going to take top honours. He was the winner of Double Trouble 2 a fortnight ago. And he looks in very good stead to add a first weekly title in the main Super Series format to his oh so impressive collection of honours. He gets the better of Justin Smith by 4 legs to 0. Coming up after the break, welcome to Permutation Town, everybody. Mike Warburton up against Martin Adams, but there's 3 players still in play. We'll tell you all about what needs to happen, who needs what and how after this short break. in Series 9 because Martin Adams wins by 4 legs to 1. The pair will be all square when 6 in this group. And they are all level on 6 points. And tops of Warburton to cut that gap in half. And it means... Well, only 2 players can play on the board at the same time, but it's a match that involves 3 players. Now, these are the permutations in play as Martin Adams takes on Mike Warburton. Before a dart is thrown, Tommy Morris is in 3rd place, 6 points minus 9. But one of Warby and Wolfie will be on 6 at the end of this game as well. If Mike Warburton wins, it's the simplest scenario. He is through, Tommy Morris is gone. However, if Martin Adams wins this game, dependent on the scoreline, depends on who goes through. So if Martin Adams wins 4-0 or 4-1, he will be into the finals on Saturday evening. If Martin wins 4-2 or 4-3, then it's Tommy Morris who will progress his way into the finals tomorrow evening. The players completing their final practice darts before the final game of the session gets underway. Matthew Edgar is alongside me in the commentary box. There was a point earlier on this evening where we didn't think there was going to be any drama whatsoever. However, we get into the final game of the evening and everybody is still in play.
There's always drama in a Group B. Very rarely do we go through a drama-free evening. Certainly on night 2. For Mike Warburton, this could be one of the most amazing turnarounds in terms of qualification. Not only did he not win his games yesterday, but he never really landed too much of a significant blow. Never really looked like he was likely to pick up too many results. And now he's battling a straight shootout style game to get through to Saturday.
Well, if it's one of these 2 that make it through at the expense of Tommy Morris, they have done it the hard way. They've done it in Lazarus-like fashion. You could almost say the story of Martin Adams will be quite as miraculous as the comeback of Warby, because there was a point in the season, particularly after he lost his first game as heavily as he did to Justin Smith, that there was a possibility that he may had to have battened up the hatches and it could have been a long evening. But if there's one thing we know about Martin Adams over a long and illustrious career, is no matter how hard the cards are stacked against him, he is 60. Always going to try his best and find a way to prevail, no matter how hard the tide is beating against him. However, he can't afford to drop anything in this game. He could drop 1 leg and that's it. But you don't really want to get in a position where you have to win 4 in a row.
Well, he's making good inroads here on the Mike Warburton throw.
41.
One of the things we've been a bit critical of Mike Warburton of in this campaign is clusters of trebleless visits.
.36. Mike, you require 160.
So 160 for Warburton to effectively put Martin Adams at elimination point. It's not going to go. Adams may only get a dart at the bullseye here from
60.
85 to get
Martin,
the break in the opening leg.
85.
Well, I won't remember that unless he hits the treble 17. Mike Warburton could potentially feel like a bit of a steal, this one.
However, a dry turn last time out means that
100.
he's looking at a ton. With Adams breathing down his neck in terms of a break of throw. Heads up for tops, unable to find,
60.
and so Wolfie is going to get an opportunity to get the breaker throw right from the get-go. Every leg of the utmost importance for the three-time Lakeside champion. And so a miss on double 10 will be magnified.
50.
And it means that his chances may well be on a whim and a prayer if Warburton can find tops. It's a leg he's been second best in, but it's a leg he's won. And Warburton is one up. And now a leg away from eliminating Martin Adams, the three-time BDO world champion. A former weekly finalist here and a three-time World Masters champion.
You probably can't believe his luck right now, Mike Warburton. Martin Adams, 9 darts from 1-2-1. It's the same amount of darts it took him to get to the 1-2-1. And then just unravelling very quickly there. This is where he just needs one big treble.
100.
Big last start from Warby. Let's not forget that recovery situation from Martin Adams earlier on in the night, though.
140.
He opened with a score of 7 and still went out in 15 darts to hold.
It's never over until it's over when it involves Martin Adams.
81.
One thing you learn very quickly when you watch Wolfie in action. And he's one of those players that, because of his longevity and because of his success in the sport, and particularly at a time where the BDO was on terrestrial television, on BBC TV, and every single January, everybody kind of has a Martin Adams memory, don't they? A game that he's played or a tournament that he's won that just sticks out in the memory bank.
$100.
But it could be on the cusp here of his chances being rendered 0. Because Warburton has hit a max to leave himself on tops after 12, and Adams can do nothing by way of reply.
We've been waiting for Warburton to be able to throw that big haymaker shot. And he saved it for one of the most crucial moments.
95. Mike, you require 40.
This tops to send Wolfie crashing out. And it would mean that it'd be between Warburton and Morris.
20.
But Adams has been given another chance. It's a great lie for the trouble with dart 2. But he cannot use it. And so Warburton will come back. 3 more in hand at double 10.
20.
To end the hopes of Martin Adams in Series 9. Wolfie's been eliminated and it's now down to 2.
Warburton.
It's just Tommy Morris and Mike Warburton now that can claim that final spot.
Third leg, it's Mike to throw first. Game on.
It might be 5 o'clock somewhere where Martin Adams is sure, but time, unfortunately, for the Lakeside legend, the legend of the game, in terms of qualification here in the live lounge on this particular occasion. But now,
45.
This is the crazy complexities of the situation. A few moments ago, Tommy Morris would have been shouting against Martin Adams. But now he wants Adams to win this game to send himself through.
And ironically, it's the man who beat Tommy Morris when Tommy Morris was trying to book his place himself.
$95.
This game sometimes can throw up weird scenarios and conundrums.
95.
We're approaching 1 o'clock in the morning here in Portsmouth in the United Kingdom, where the Super Series is based. The final takes place at 7:30 tonight. And we're still none the wiser as to who completes the lineup. And we won't be none the wiser until the end of this game. The ball very much in the court of this man in your picture here, Mike Warburton, who didn't win a game on Thursday evening. But if he can find a third win from 4 on night 2, then he, by some miraculous margin of recovery, will send himself through to the
41.
Saturday showdown. And because of that dry turn there for Martin Adams, he's going to get 6 on 226 to put himself 3 up.
140.
Big sigh there from Martin Adams.
30.
Maybe
Mike
feels like his
86.
race might be run. I feel this is going to be the best opportunity Mike Warburton's going to get to qualify.
$38. Martin, you require 155.
Well, he can't do it for himself, but he can do it for Tommy Morris. And this would be the biggest finish of the group so far. Trouble 19 would have left double 19, but it's another wayward dart for Wolfie. And so Warburton will come back, looking at 48 to stretch his lead to 3-0 and to put himself a leg away
68.
from qualification through to yet another finals night. A slip, a tired dart from Warby.
32.
It was sloppy that. He had 2 options there, the 8 and the 16, both next to each other. He's come low on them both. Martin Adams presented an opportunity in the opening leg to Mike Warburton.
77.
Nearly.
Mike, you require 60.
Similar sort of situation, nearly the steal, but Warburton now a chance to put himself a leg away from qualification.
Game shot in the third.
This time, he's on target. And he may well be on target to qualify through to Saturday's final. He didn't win a game on Thursday, but on Friday, he's a leg away from 3 wins from 4, which will be enough. Not often is 6 points enough to qualify yourself through a Group B. But it's just been one of those groups where you've had 2 runaway players at the top of it, Robert Thornton and Justin Smith, which has given that man in your picture just a glimmer of hope with a decent night. He's had to
45.
have things go his way. Of course he has. But in this oh so important match, he hasn't played at his best, but he has just done enough thus far.
$81. $60.
So every time we see Wolfie here, we should embrace every single time that we watch this legend in this building.
85.
Probably be the final time we see him here this year. Series 10 doesn't begin until the start of 2025.
60.
I imagine we probably will see him in the build-up to the World Seniors Championship at the Circus Tavern in the middle of February. For Wolfie, his next assignment will be the Seniors World Match Play at the Barbican Arena in York, or the Barbican Theatre in York.
$140.
As for Mike Warburton, it looks like his next assignment is going to be tomorrow night's final. He's not far away now.
May just be 196 points away because Martin Adams just struggling to land the blow here. The time of day really did affect Martin Adams yesterday, and it appears to be the same again tonight.
100.
Just the evening a little too long.
And so Warburton 96 to seal a 4-0 win, which will progress him through
85.
at the expense of Tommy Morris.
96.
He began the night at the bottom of the table, have had a point to his name. And Mike Warburton
36.
hopes that he'll come back
Martin, you require
with 3
105.
darts at tots to seal his progression. Adams unable to take out the 105.
89.
Mike Warburton comes back for tops
Mike, you require 40.
to complete the comeback.
$20.
But 3 darts to qualify have
Martin,
come
you
and gone.
require 16.
This isn't for him, this is for Tommy Morris. One dart at double 4 does not
12.
go. And so Mike Warburton
you
gets
require
another chance
20.
to send himself through. Well, they say that darts is on the day, and today was Warby's day. Last night was disastrous, tonight was delightful, and by the skin of his teeth and by the barest of margins, Mike Warburton is through. He shares an embrace with Owen Binks, and he will embrace a Saturday night showdown here at the Super Series. He beats Martin Adams by 4-0 to complete a Lazarus-like comeback here at the Live Lounge. At the beginning of the night, he didn't have a point to his name, and midway through, it didn't look like he had a prayer. But Mike Warburton has sealed his place through to tomorrow night's final at the expense of Tommy Morris, who had began the evening and spent pretty much the whole of the evening in 3rd place. For Martin Adams, he also departs us at the end of tonight's session. We now know the 6 that have made it through. Robert Thornton has won the group on 12 points. Justin Smith finishes in P2. And the 3rd and final qualifier is Mike Warburton.
Welcome to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Lounge.
They've both got the talent where they can just reel off leg after leg and dish out a heavy defeat. What a way to start the day. We're up and running here on Champions Week with a maximum.
But what a way to finish. A 12-dart leg.
Beautiful check out there from Cam Crabtree.
Only needs the one.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius
What were you saying about efficiency?
on the third leg.
Is that the moment that Reece Robinson comes alive in this crucial clash? Looks like he's going to go for it. And it is right next to his favourite double top. And he gets the job done at the earliest possibility. That is Cam Crabtree through.
Case not so. Harrison gets the all-important win.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius Labanowski. Game shot.
Well, Smith is it a 9? A long time. And that clenched fist.
Game shot. Oh,
he gets the job done in the end. He's nodding in total agreement because
game shot on the fourth flag.
just like
Darius
that.
Labanowski.
leads the one. There you can see
that she can unlock at any moment, but that is quality comparison. This would be a wake-up.
welcome to the party in Pompey. Should be a good marker for him, and is. It was a great guide.
On the first leg, Andreas Harrison.
It's a breaker throw for Andreas Harrison.
On the second leg,
consecutive breaker throw, double 16 is found.
And he does lead. It's not an 11, but it's a beautiful 12, treble 17, which he gets. Bullseye for the win. Absolutely incredible by Andreas Harrison.
He's Andreas Dirty Harrison!
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where our Friday night's worth of action has been completed, and miraculously Mike Warburton is with us in the studio. Mike, you lost all 4 games on night 1, and you actually said to us just before we went live that the bags were packed.
Yep, my bags are packed. I was expecting to go home tomorrow morning, but basically my strategy was like, I had to beat Tommy first game, and then Justin second against the darts, and I thought if I win that one, there's a chance. I don't know, but when I lost to Robert, I thought that was it for me. But yeah, just one of them. It's just I don't know.
When you saw Martin beat Tommy Morris, how much relief was there? And did you think at that point, okay, now I'm back in business here?
Well, yeah, you know, I'm watching it in the back room, and I know that I need Martin to beat Tommy. And when he beat Tommy, I knew it was in my odds because I had Martin last game with the darts. So all I had to do was beat Martin with the darts to go through. But I said this to my missus yesterday. I'm like, listen, when it comes to that last game, if it's down to me beating Martin, I'll take that. I'll snatch your hands off right now.
And does it work out easier for you? Because in that last game against Martin, it's effectively knockout. It's do or die. And I feel like sometimes you're a player that when there is that kind of edge on it, maybe it brings the best out of you?
100%. So I don't like to complain, but I've been struggling with a bit of tennis elbow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my missus said that you've commented on my motion, my action, and I've snatched a few darts. It's because sometimes I can't follow through. But yeah, today I just thought I was a bit more relaxed. I thought I was out, basically.
Basically, you played with freedom all night.
Yeah, I played with freedom today, and yeah, I can't believe I'm still in, but I am.
I'll tell you what, we'll give you a couple of moments just to find the words. Matt's alongside us as well in the studio. Not often does a player on 0 points after night 1 make it through. Not often does a player on 6 points also make it through a Group B. Mike Warburton's basically taken the rule book, ripped it up and written a new chapter.
I want to know what his other 2 wishes are. He's going off the genie when he's finished with this one. So, yeah, really, really good night that, wasn't it, for Mike Warburton? And it's really interesting. I mean, there's a couple of things. I've known Mike now a couple of years, and I've never seen him so lost for words before. He's normally got quite a lot to say, and I can imagine after tonight it'd be quite draining. And the beauty now is that he's got quite a long time to go get ready, because we don't come back till 7:30, so it's quite a bit of time to go unpack the bags again now, take stock of what's happened. But tomorrow it's all level again. He came in tonight on the back foot. Tomorrow he comes in on a level playing field, and maybe even a little bit free rolling, because it was an opportunity he didn't expect to have, and that could be a very dangerous thing going into tomorrow.
Your eyes lit up when Matt said the word free roll. Is that exactly what it is? Because you didn't expect to be in this position. You expected to be heading back to Wales right now.
100%. I literally said to my missus, I'll be leaving at 8 o'clock in the morning. But now I feel like I've got a little bit of momentum. And I've got the wind in my sails. I'm like, I shouldn't even be there. You know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, don't count me out. It's all back to scratch now. Whatever's happened all week is ancient history, isn't it?
Well, we're going to show you something which I think you might like. This is the table at the end of Group B. Robert Thornton winning it on 12 points, better legs difference than Justin Smith, and Mike Warburton through there, 6 points to his name. 3 wins from 4 on night 2. Mike, we'll have another chat with you in just a second, but Matt's going to round up everything else that we've seen this evening. Let's begin with Robert, who won that group. And we've been mentioning in commentary all night long that maybe that double start win that he had a few weeks ago is just relit another fuse, relit another fire, and maybe we're seeing a different man on that stage now.
I don't think it's just that. I don't think it's just that double start week that he won. I think it's the time of year that we are in. He's got a couple of big events coming up. He's not going to be going into those events at half-par. He's going to be going in there fully ready to try and pick up those seniors titles. 2 big TV titles coming up on that tour in the coming months. Then you've got the World Championship on the seniors tour coming up at the start of the year as well. So he's starting to prepare for that one. And I think that double trouble week win is just part of a process that we're going to see Robert Thornton go through over the next 6 months.
Just quickly on Justin Smith, it's difficult for a player after they've qualified after one game to get a true reflection of a night's work. But in terms of what you've seen, particularly in this Group B, what would you say?
Good enough. Absolutely good enough. He'll be more than happy with what's happened here. Scoring at times, elite, world class. And if he can club that all together tomorrow, he's going to be dangerous as well. But what a lineup we've got there tomorrow. We've got some explosive players, and I think he's going to really complement that lineup.
Well, this is how the tournament bracket looks going into tomorrow night's final. So Andreas Harrison winning Group A all the way back on Wednesday afternoon. The former champion is there, the double trouble champion Robert Thornton's there, alongside Justin Smith, alongside Mike Warburton, alongside Ross Montgomery, and the story of the week and the story of the series so far, the 16-year-old sensation Ryan Branley. It's fair to say that there is a real cosmopolitan mix going into tomorrow, and this is how the groups break down. And Mike, you are playing the sensation that is Ryan Branley. Have you been keeping up to date with his progress this week?
I've watched him play, and it's very impressive. Very impressive. I like his throw. It's very no nonsense. Brings it up. Follows through lovely. I like watching him play. We'll see when the pressure's on. When they've got the crowd there. Well, I don't know. You know, he's 16 years of age. It's immense. It's incredible.
These 16-year-olds ain't bad at
Yeah, I know. These guys coming up, you know what I mean? But, yeah, we'll see.
In terms of the other group, Matt, we can have a look at it again on the screen there. Andreas Harrison, Justin Smith, Ross Montgomery. Fair to say a fair bit of experience there.
Experience, but 3 completely different styles, 3 completely different type of player, and it's going to be a really sort of intriguing group to see how that goes. But I'm just looking at that lineup, and I'm looking at this week, and this week we're going to be talking about this for months, if not years to come, because not only are we going to talk about another 16-year-old breaking through, but we like examples. And I think Mike Warburton's going to be an example now. Every time someone loses 4 games on the opening night, we're going to be talking about this night. So I think we've had a great week already. And with that lineup tomorrow night, I think we're going to end with some fireworks.
Just finally, Mike, last time we saw you here, you got very, very close to qualifying through the Champions Week. You did the hard work. You beat Wesley Plaisir in the semi-final and then lost to Adam in the final. And I remember after that game, the real disappointment in your eye, because you felt like that was a big opportunity. Is tomorrow a chance, even though you said you freewall, but an opportunity to put that right?
Yeah, 100%. But you're forgetting the time before I lost to Andreas in the final as well. So I've lost 2 finals in a row. So hopefully I'll put both of them right and I'll win it this weekend.
Do you feel like your player really knocking on the door now?
If I bring my A game, I can beat anyone. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Well, it's a night of heavyweight boxing tomorrow, and Mike Warburton's brought the heavyweight talk here, the fighting talk here at the Live Lounge. Well, many congratulations tonight. We'll let you unpack your bags ahead of tomorrow evening. Hopefully you haven't got your bags packed because we're back tomorrow, aren't you? So we'll see you for that. We'll see you for that as well. 7:30 in the evening on the Super Series YouTube channel, where the story of the day has been about a 16-year-old sensation, Ryan Branley. We've heard that story before, haven't we? Bye from us.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows we're watching something special.
This is going to happen. Just when? When is it going to happen? Been so long.
I actually thought at one point, this is going to be a world record. This is going to smash any record. You don't get many finals with averages like that.
We did lie the age, absolutely.
The Juice. Best finishers of his game so far.
Bullseye. And Ryan Branley, the 16-year-old sensation from Newcastle upon Tyne.
He actually walked onto a song called Hometown Hero. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well, maybe we're getting a new hero here at the Super Series. Ryan Branley wasting no time. Well, how interesting could it get? How exciting could it get? It can't get any more exciting than this. Ryan Branley.
Sense and sensibility. Convention and execution. He couldn't sweep in again, could he? It was the 150 in the last leg. It's the 135 there.